Everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching ABL Live. You could be anywhere in the whole wide world, which right here with me, so I definitely appreciate you for that. Hopefully you all had a good Thanksgiving. Hopefully you didn't get too full to the point where you can't move anymore. If you were out there on Black Friday, God bless you. I know it was rough. I'm seeing people get beat up over $200 TV. They probably get for like $100 more in the other day. You know, people just getting stomped into wine, into dust, into compost over 100 US dollars. Hey, I guess that's capitalism for you. You know, hey, only the strong survive. But no, seriously. Hopefully you all had a good holiday and everything's going well for you. But there's a whole lot happening in the world today. A terror attack in London, yet again, on a London bridge. There was a terror attack on a London bridge in 2017 with the vehicle. This time it was with a knife. But they say gun control is the issue we got to focus on. What about car control? What about knife control? What about fist control? What about religion control? What are we really going to do with the main things that are causing the problems right now? There's a whole lot happening. We're going to get to everything on the board and much more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all for joining me tonight. Definitely appreciate you. Like I said, you could be anywhere in the whole wide world, which right here with me. So I certainly appreciate you for that. Please hit the like button on the video, share the video, do all that good stuff for me. If you, for some reason, are not subscribed, I don't know what you're doing, go ahead and subscribe for me right now. I definitely appreciate you if you did that for me. Thank y'all for being here. Shout out to Marie, who says, good Sunday morning from Finland. Shout out to Finland. Shout out to everybody all over the world. My Europeans, people in Africa, people in Asia, South America, Central America, wherever you are. Thank you for being here. And of course, the good old US of A, the best country in the world. David Ray says, I had to work on Black Friday. We actually closed the deli early because of it. Wow. Yeah, I can imagine how crazy some of these retail spots were on Black Friday. You know, I happen to be in Best Buy, not for any kind of Black Friday deal. I got some suits and stuff for Black Friday, like Jose Bank, Men's Warehouse. They had some good deals on some suits and stuff, because if I'm going to be on TV more, I need to have a better wardrobe. If I'm going to some of these events, I want to be nice. So I got some suits and stuff for some good deals. I mean, they had nice suits for like $100, ties for like $10, $15. I mean, deals you couldn't really pass up. Overcoats for like $100. Really good stuff that you would want to get. I didn't get any kind of electronics. I got a few games. I got the PSVR. If you never played VR before, oh man, it's a crazy experience. It's really something. But that's all I got. I didn't fight any kind of crowds. I went at the right time to where I really didn't fight any crowds. So I'm not trying to, you know, get into a UFC championship match over a television. You know, some of you guys might like that. Some guys might like just going out there and rumbling in the jungle, but I'm not that kind of person. It is what it is. Shout out to Frank, who says, hey, from north of 50 Canada. Shout out to you up there in the Great White North. Hopefully don't nobody get triggered by that and try to call YouTube on me. Oh, he said the Great White North. That's racist. But thank y'all for being here. Black Spring with Autumn says, thank you, ABL from SoCal. Shout out to Southern California. You know, I've not been to LA yet, and I got a cousin out there, and I've been wanting to go. I've not been to LA. I've not been to Southern California at all. The closest I've been, I think, is Phoenix, but I've not been to California yet. I definitely want to go to Southern California and just to check it out, just to visit. Shout out to Jake C for the early super chat, who says, hi, ABL, longtime subscriber. I love the work you do. Man, keep it up. Can you give me a shout out? LOL. Hey, shout out to you, Jake C. Thank you for your super chat and your very kind words, man. Definitely appreciate you, boss. All right. Tommy Rad coming from Arizona. Marcus 1967 coming from London. Shout out to London. How is it right now in London? What's the climate like? Now, I don't mean it, you know, the weather. I'm talking about just, you know, how's everybody feeling after the London Bridge attack? Has it become normal? Is it like what Sadiq Khan, the mayor, said? It's part and parcel of living in the big city. You just got to expect terror attacks randomly, people on the bridge. And then the craziest part was that this guy shouldn't have been out. It's a few crazy things about that. I'm going to jump into that because that's on my mind. You know, shout out to Meow Mix from San Francisco, B. Murphy from Pennsylvania. Alrighty. Upstate New York, Thomas, Missouri, J-Bone, JB, Indiana. Shout out to all y'all. But to the London stabber, whatever you want to call him, the terror attacker, this guy got locked up in 2012 on a charge of terrorism. You know, you plotting to blow up a stock exchange in London. Like, what are you doing? You get a 16-year sentence. You successfully appeal and get a shorter sentence. You get out in like 6 years, thereabout. They say, oh, we're going to put him on an ankle monitor. He'll be okay. This man went to an event, not at Cambridge, sponsored by Cambridge University. And I think it was at the Fishmongers Hall right there at the London Bridge. The attack started there in the building. I guess he was leaving the particular class or whatever. Like, he went to the event for like ex-cons, newly released counselors and whatnot. He went to the event. And then he came back. Maybe he got his knife when he came back. I don't know, but I'll move on. He went back to the event, and then he starts a fight or tries to hurt somebody in the building, and then that carries out onto the London Bridge. And that's where you had I think it might have been a Polish person or a Swede. I think it was a Pole. Came out there and hit him with the whale tusk. You guys know what I'm talking about. I forget a narwhal tusk. Now, my question to the Polish guy is, why are you carrying around a tusk of a whale? Just like, what, you got that in your pocket? You got it strapped to your vest. You got it strapped to your chest like a vest or something. You got it in holster like a gun. Where do you keep a whale tusk at? You know, and how long was that whale tusk? Was it like a little baby tusk, or are you talking about something like a sword? How do you have that just in your back pocket on London Bridge? But whatever the case may be, the man had a narwhal tusk, hit him with that, poked him up. Another guy had a fire extinguisher. It's like, you got some of the most random items. Like, okay, one guy has a whale tusk. The other guy has a fire extinguisher. Now, how are you going to use all that? Just where do you get all that randomly? Whatever the case may be, they put the guy with the knife down. And then my thing is, how do you get this big butcher knife into the establishment? I'm talking about the knife. It looked like you can cut an elephant while it's living. You could cut its whole tusk off with the knife almost. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but it was a big knife. How do you get that into place? But regardless, they were able to get him down and get him on the ground. And then when he's on the ground, here come the police. Now, in London, if I'm not mistaken, you guys, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Okay, thank you, Stacey Felice. She says he grabbed it off a wall of a restaurant. So that's where the narwhal tusk came from. I thought he was just carrying it around like it was a pack of gum or something, but it was in the restaurant. He grabbed it off the wall. It probably was right there where they were at, the Fishmongers Hall. It might have been right, because the attack happened inside the place first. So if he's observing this whole thing happen, he might just, looked around him and see, what can I use as a weapon right now? Okay, this is a sharp instrument, narwhal tusk. All right, get poked up ASAP. But anyway, thank you for that. And your super chat, definitely appreciate you. Here come the police. Now, sometimes you have unarmed police, then you have armed police. Now, with all the terror attacks happening, you would think that the police will always be armed. I mean, at least carry like a little 9mm, a little Glock 45 or something. Don't be out there with a whistle. Like, what you gonna do with that? With all these terror attacks, all these alarm walk bars happening. Anyway, here come the armed police with the rifles, like AR-15s would look like. So you get the AR-15 out, and then the guy on the ground has a suicide vest, or what appears to be a suicide vest that was not actually active. And he just, exposes it like he's just flashing somebody, like he's he flashes a suicide vest. Like, no, we're going to go ahead and kill him right now. And then they shot him right there on the bridge, and he's dead. But these incidents are happening so frequently. I want to know if people in London, or even shaken by this? Are they surprised? Is it kind of a normal thing? That's what I want to know. Yeah, exactly. Hey, if you're living in a place like London, you might need to just pack a narwhal tusk. Maybe that's not illegal. They're trying to crack down on knives. They don't already crack down on guns. So maybe I can just go kill me a whale and get the tusk and put that in my backpack. So the next time somebody try to come at me, then I can just pull that out, poke them up, and go about my day. Or the better thing to do would be to have a gun so I can just fight with that. This whole gun control thing isn't working. At one point in time, London's murder rate surpassed that of New York City. Now, in America, there's guns everywhere. There's over 350 million guns. There's more guns than people in the USA out in the wild, not just in Bob's gun shop hanging on the racks, but out in the wild in private hands. There's more guns than people. But the murder rate in New York City was lower than London, England. Gun control, you can't have guns in London, but yet people are getting killed every day. You got roving gangs of youths that go around, punk people up in groups. So you might have like 6-8 guys run up on 1 or 2 people, stab them up, rob them, whatever. People are dying that way. You get home invasions, robberies, all kind of stuff, kidnappings, human trafficking, all that stuff is kind of going on right now in London. But we don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about things that aren't even really related. Gun control, come on. Give me my gun. Now, like I said in the video, some would say, well, if you have a gun and you want to get rid of gun control or loosen up a little bit in London, you're going to give the terrorists a gun too. But like I said, if the situation is I have a gun and they have one too, I like those odds better than me not having any weapon at all and this guy having the butcher knife poking everybody up that he lays his eyes on. Then there was another terror attack involving a knife the very same day at The Hague in the Netherlands. And if you don't know about geography, the Netherlands is right there across the English Channel, North Sea, whatever that is right there. It's right next to France. So I think you got the Netherlands, Belgium, and then France in that order from north to southwest. Netherlands, Belgium, France, and then right across the water, the English Channel, is UK. So was it coordinated? I think so. I think that it was the commemoration of the death of somebody in ISIS. I forget who the person was, because there's been so many of them that died. I mean, it could have just been any random person, just as an excuse to go out there and hurt somebody. But shout out to my man Bryson Grassley, you in the chat, boss. He made super chat. He says, supporting the stream, bro. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. 1,000%. And shout out to Brett Sessoms, who says, this knife stabbing just shows how screwed up Europe's immigration system is. London is not London anymore. London is not British anymore. Yeah, London stopped being London years ago. And it's the people of UK's fault. They allowed it to happen. At a certain point, you just got to keep your country together and not let it just fall to the wayside by allowing every Tom, Dick, and Harry in there. You got to learn from Eastern Europe and what they do. You're not going to see these kind of things happening in Russia or Poland or Hungary or Ukraine or Latvia or Estonia or Belarus. You're not going to see it happen, but you will see it happen in UK, France, Germany, Sweden, Norway, Denmark. You're going to see it happen there because of the very liberal policies that they have on the welfare system, immigration. They let all these so-called refugees into the country and give them all this free stuff, and they don't require any kind of society assimilation. They don't assimilate, and then they go out here and they commit crimes. It's simple. It's not a hard thing to even understand. Brett asked me, what do I think of Sadiq Khan? I think Sadiq Khan is terrible. I did not like him from the very beginning. Right when he got elected, I said London is falling. But people were telling me in that video I did about that when he got elected that London is falling a long time ago. This ain't nothing new. This is just something that I'm seeing that has already been going on for a very long time. It's not anything new at all, unfortunately. And what just happened here in London kind of proves my point, unfortunately. I don't take pride in saying that. It's just the reality of the situation. 1,000%. Shout out to Bucolic Buffalo, who says, ABL, what do you carry? I carry FN 509 9mm. I I have a Glock 45 because it just feels so good in my hands. It's perfect. That's my weapon right there. And it's kind of big to carry, but I open carry. That's just why I prefer to open carry. I don't like concealed carry. I mean, I could conceal carry, but I don't like concealed carrying a big weapon like that. Or like if I was to conceal carry, it needed to be something smaller. Put it to you like that. But I don't carry that much. It just depends on what's going on in the situation. So thank you all for being here. I definitely appreciate you. But I tell you what, though, if I could carry in London, if they were to change the rules in London and I live there and they say, hey, you can get your gun, you can open carry, concealed carry, whatever, then I'm hopping right on it. One thing I don't like about the gun laws in the U.S. is that they differ from state to state so wildly. Like when I was in Virginia, you could open carry anything in Virginia unless you lived in Northern Virginia, which is D.C. They kind of get weird with magazine sizes and whatnot. But in Virginia, you have open carry. You can carry whatever you want. You can carry a rifle. You can have a shotgun in your vehicle. You can carry a gun as long as it's open with no license. But if you want to conceal carry, now you need a license. In Tennessee, you need to have a license to open and conceal carry. That's pretty much what that is. But in Virginia, you can get a gun as a gift from your friend and open carry it with no problem. I was seeing guys in the hood with like the old cowboy holsters and revolvers just on their hip. And, like the police won't do nothing to them because the law says you can open carry. What are you going to do? You can't do anything really. If the police run up on you, try to take your gun, and like where I was in Virginia Beach, you can't do that because you have open carry is legal. So it's all good. Andrew Smith says I can conceal carry or open carry in Idaho, no permits. Yeah, I mean, that's the way it is in Virginia, but from state to state it's different and it's weird. But yeah, they need that in London ASAP. This whole gun control thing is not working. You got a combination of gun control that's not working and also bad immigration policies. One thing that I say we need to have here is better immigration as far as a vetting system. The best of the best need to come here. Some would say we don't need any immigration, but that's kind of silly because one thing people don't understand about the world is that different countries compete for people that are coming from different countries. Prime example is like doctors, engineers, like Elon Musk. Do you want him to set up shop in UK, Canada, Australia, or US? And if there was a bidding war for him to come from South Africa to one of those 4 countries, where you want him to come? You want him to come here. Same thing with Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is Syrian. Do you want him to stay in Syria, Iran, and work on a nuclear program? Do you want him to go to somewhere random in Europe, Romania or something? Greece, what's that right there? Bulgaria. Do you want him to go stay there or come over here? We want the best of the best, people that have skills, people that are talented, people that can contribute to society. We want them. We don't want those that are going to come over here, suck up welfare, people that got criminal records. One thing that really stood out to me was when I was at the Black Voices for Trump event in Atlanta, was one of the guys from Miami, hood dude, shout out to him, one of the Blacks for Trump guys, one of the guys who wear the black and white shirts. He was saying, look, how can you be here in America if you got a felony on your record, but you're not even a citizen, you on the green card or something like that, or you're trying to come over here? It's like, nah, you need to stay where you are. You can't be over here with a felony. You got guys that are not even able to get housing, like an apartment with a felony, that are citizens, but they could come over here and become citizens or stay over here, not even really be a citizen with a felony on your record, some kind of criminal background. Absolutely not. So we don't want any people that have criminal records, people that can't contribute to society, people that don't speak English. You want to have a good system, a good vetting system. And the same thing should go for the United Kingdom and all over parts of Western Europe where you have this so-called migration crisis. Is it a migration crisis, or is it a crisis of not being able to properly vet people that come into the country for whatever the reason may be? A visa, I'm going to vet you on a tourist visa, a work visa, whatever. I'm going to vet you regardless. You can't come into this country if you got some kind of issues back at the house. It is what it is. Exactly, Armin. He says, good point, ABL. We need to just be smart about immigration and only bring in those who can help our country. Simple. 1,000%. Time for Reality says, LOL in Britain, we never had weapons for years, but when we get angry, we get even. There it is. Hey, I'm with you. Absolutely. So, let me see. I have a Google troll. Wow. Hey, it is what it is. I ain't worried about no trolls. Now, you have the current prime minister in UK is Boris Johnson, right? Because he came in the interim. Because did Theresa May resign? Did she resign or not seek re-election? I think she might have resigned. Yeah, she did resign. And then you have Boris Johnson to step in. I think the Queen accepted it. Like the Queen accepted Theresa May resigning, and then Boris Johnson came in, and that was accepted as well. Hopefully he gets elected. If you put in, shout out to Brett Sessoms, who says, if Jeremy Corbyn becomes Prime Minister of UK, it is over. The UK will fall. Corbyn is horrible. We don't need Jeremy Corbyn. He will ruin the West. See, and my thing is, you know, Europeans got to save Europe. If you're in Europe, you're a citizen of the United Kingdom or whatever country you are in, you got to save your particular country from within. We could be on the outside looking in, giving you recommendations, but I can't vote in European elections. I can't go to London and vote for Boris Johnson. It's up to you guys over there. So hopefully you guys do the right thing. You did the right thing with exiting the European Union, even though it was a very close vote, but you guys did the right thing. Hopefully the right thing will be done with the prime minister. One thing I see in Europe as the issue is that you got too many parties. Some say that we need to have more than 2 parties over here in the West, but I disagree, because when you have multiple parties, it kind of just fractures votes. It's kind of like what happened with Ross Perot and George H.W., and Slick Willie. Although that was a unique situation, it's a similar situation, because if you have popularity for more than 2 parties, the vote just kind of gets fractured and people are in different wavelengths. And then with the political system, a lot of times it's not much of a difference between, you know, if you got 3 main parties, 2 of them are going to be almost the same, and the votes are going to be kind of split on superficial lines, usually, in my humble opinion. That's kind of how I see it from the outside looking in. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think having a 2-party system is better than having multiple parties that are very popular. We have more than 2 parties over here, but none are as popular or as funded as Democrats and Republicans. You could go be a Libertarian, a Green Party, Reform Party, X, Y, and Z, Spaghetti Head Party, whatever, but the best ones are the best ones. That's probably the best way, in my opinion. That's just me. All right, but hopefully you guys do the right thing over in UK and vote for the correct person, or vote for the person that I think would be the best. But like I said, it's not my call. It's up to you guys over there. Shout out to Miriam Vidal, who says, did you hear that California is going to make the homeless into wards of the state? The state will seize their assets and place them in protective custody. Wow. I did not hear about that. And thank you for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. But I'm not surprised. I mean, they got to do something. But see, they're being reactive when they should have been proactive. They're doing things that are inviting homeless people to California. People that are homeless, it's not always like, oh, they lived in the area in the house and then the rent rose up and then they became homeless. It's not always the case. A lot of people come from different parts of the country, different parts of California, and then they go there to be homeless. Okay. You see guys get on trains, they hop trains, they might even get a plane ticket, use their last little bit of money to go to California and be homeless there. A lot of drug addicts, they are allowing drugs to pretty much just flourish all over the place with no kind of, you know, people said that you should decriminalize drugs like heroin, methamphetamine, etc. If you want to see the result of decriminalized heroin, meth, crack, weed, go to California, go to San Francisco, Los Angeles. I saw on videotape, and I did a video about this, the mayor of San Francisco, London Breed, she was walking outside in San Francisco on the street with cameras, middle of the daytime, early morning. It was a guy getting ready to bang a needle right in front of her, and she made eye contact with him. And there was nothing that happened. No police got involved. He just went about his day like he was drinking a Starbucks cup of coffee with a needle, get ready to bang it right there on camera. So obviously they're not enforcing any kind of laws against heroin usage. And what's the result of that? Doo-doo on the ground, needles in the street, crime going through the roof. Nobody wants to live like that. Nobody. It's to the point now where they have doo-doo maps on an app so you can avoid the human feces on the ground in the city. When I was in D.C., I did not see anything like that. And I walked through a park where it was a lady that was obviously geeked up. I'm talking about she was seeing spaceships on Bankhead. You understand what I'm saying? High out of her mind. But I didn't see any feces on the ground. I didn't see any needles on the ground. It was clean. Atlanta, same thing. New York, same thing. But California, I'm seeing this garbage and human waste. What's going on? It's because they don't enforce the drug policies and the quality of life things. Just little things that you see that could lead to a different thing. I was watching this police show, and the police stopped somebody for taking the cart from a grocery store just out wherever they were, like in the park or something. Some would say, oh, that's petty. Don't take, their cart. It's not really that deep, whatever. But they had meth they were getting ready to sell in the park and smoke. See, that's why you got to just enforce some of these laws that seem kind of unnecessary, but you got to do it because once you don't, it leads to other things. That's how Giuliani cleaned up New York back in the day. A lot of those small things were not getting enforced. And once they did become enforced, the city improved. When you don't enforce those things, it's death by 1,000 cuts. Now you have this guy, what's his, de Blasio in there. He's letting the quality of life things go by the wayside. So you got bums urinating on the ground. You got all kind of stuff happening and nobody's being fined or ticketed or anything like that. So the city's going back to the way it was before Giuliani. Now you got to have somebody else come in and clean up the mess. That's kind of how these things go. Very simple. Yeah, and you know what? Somebody said Somalia's better than California. It was a guy from a third world country that came to San Francisco and said, hey, my country is better than this. My country did not have, even in places like India, they're not going to necessarily doo-doo on the walkway. And they do that over there. They, like in some parts of India, it's not uncommon culturally just to take a squat outside and handle your business. But they're not necessarily going to do it like on the sidewalk and put heroin needles on the ground on top of that. Hey, it is what it is. So I say all that to say this. You just got to have a society that is run properly. And if it's not, you're going to have a lot of issues. The drugs and all that kind of stuff, you got to tighten it up. Shout out to Zadochu's Cane Store who says, ABL, did you see the video of that vagrant that attacked a cop in LA with a machete? I did not see that, but am I surprised? Look at my face. Do you see? You see surprise? Not at all. Like Sadiq Khan, that's part and parcel living in the big city, right? You're going to have homeless junkies pull out a machete, who knows how they got that, and attack a cop with it. When you high on drugs and nobody's enforcing any kind of laws against you, you can just be outside smoking meth, getting geeked up, superhuman strength. You're going to just, take out a machete and start swinging. It's unfortunate. Hopefully the cop did not get hurt, but that's just when you don't have laws that are able to be enforced or laws that can't be enforced, then you have things like that happen. It is what it is. But what else we got here? And thank y'all for joining. I definitely appreciate you. Please give the video a thumbs up, like it, share it, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh yeah, Trump trolling the media. Now, did you guys see Trump going to Bagram Air Force Base? I think it's Air Force Base in Afghanistan and surprising the troops. The troops loved it. The media is spending so much time talking about Trump as a racist. He's a sexist. He's an X, Y, and Z phobe, this, that, and the third. But when he went to Afghanistan and surprised the troops on Thanksgiving, all their faces lit up. Everybody was smiling. Everybody wanted to get in the picture. It didn't matter. Black, white, male, female, young, old. Everybody wanted to talk to Trump, take a picture with him. And then he served the troops food from behind the line or whatever. great guy, good guy. Then you have Newsweek talking about the meme he posted with his face on Rocky, talking about, oh, is it doctor? See, I said that in my video. The media use very kind of slimy language, and they say it a lot in a way to where they want you to believe a thing that's not true. Now, prime example, they'll say that a document put out by the White House, if it's redacted, then it's doctored. Like, they'll say certain things like that to make you think the word doctor means altered with the intent to maliciously deceive. It's like a lawyer type of lingo. But why can't they just say this is a meme, this is a Photoshop, this is a funny thing? When you put out a meme and it's Photoshopped, it's not meant to be maliciously, what's the word I'm looking for? Deceptive. That's not it. It's just meant to be funny and something that people can laugh at, nothing else. That's what the media does. So they're focusing on the Photoshopped image, trying to smear that for whatever the reason may be. Then they got fooled by the fake motorcade that went to, I think it was Mar-a-Lago or Doral in Florida, talking about, oh, Trump is tweeting and golfing this Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, he's in Afghanistan after a rally. You know, you did a rally and then a 13-hour flight to Afghanistan visiting the troops. Okay, and they always do that. They said the same thing last time. Was it Christmas? Talking about Trump is the first president to not visit the troops during Christmas time. And then he pops up visiting the troops during Christmas time overseas. Like, it might have been that same day they put out the report. He's right there. So obviously he didn't just see the report and say, hey, I got to go over and visit the troops. It was planned in advance. But the media just so quick to put out negative information, they don't even really care to wait to see what's really happening. It just put out their fake things. And then, of course, the retraction is always small or non-existent totally. So these nut jobs like that, Mickey Mouse sounding lady, will just go out here and say crazy things because they don't even really understand what's really going on. Matter of fact, if you've not seen that clip of the Mickey Mouse lady, I'm going to see if I can play that right now so you guys can see, just, you know, get a quick laugh. Hold on. Now, this lady, hold on, let me see if I can load it up. Now, this lady, she was interrupting some people that were outside with their Trump signs. I'm not sure where this was location-wise, but she was triggered beyond belief. Let me see if I can play it.
In Arkansas, my brother was her lawyer. He was lawyer of the year. He represented Hillary. She just get a job You can buy these things and say, Chelsea, you guys don't have a clue what's going on in Arkansas. You come in and killing babies. You're nuts. Bullshit. Where's the evidence? My brother had her baby. My brother protected Hillary. Hillary. It'll never happen. Just you wait. No, you wait. Oh, I did. My brother. I don't represent your brother did. Please
Oh man, she was so triggered. She was so triggered. And Ben, what's up with that voice though? I mean, is she the Mickey Mouse voice or what? What's really going on? But that right there, that's Trump derangement syndrome. And that tells you that Trump derangement syndrome has no color, it has no age, it has no gender. I'm not quite sure. I think there's a lady right there, but it's kind of an androgynous look. I'm not really sure what's really cracking with that. But yeah, that whole thing, that tells you that it has apparently that was a lady. But you know what? I'm not going to assume their gender anymore. But I did think it was a lady. So I'll just rock with that. You know what? I will assume their gender. How about that? And I think when nobody really do nothing to me, because I think it's safe to say that could be a lady. And if it's not, then oh well, it's not my fault. You know, you just got to tighten up. But I've not really seen a super old, I've not seen a super old transgender person before. You know, I'm not seeing somebody that's that old and transgender, but maybe they exist. Who knows? Hey, Mickey Mouse. When I was listening to it the first time, I was like, yo, what cartoon character is that? And then somebody said it in the thread. They were like, Mickey Mouse. I was like, oh, boom, got it. That's also Brian Stelter's voice that Mark Dice does. It's the same voice. So you could say that's little Brian Stelter, Brian Stelter's mom or dad, or mom and dad put together. Or you could say Mickey Mouse, maybe even old school Minnie Mouse if you want to, be a little bit more accurate. Jimmy Carter looking. She did look like Jimmy Carter. I didn't even see that one. Y'all are hilarious in the chat. But hey, that's that Trump derangement syndrome. When I say text Joe to 30330 to find a cure for Trump derangement syndrome, it's a real thing. It's dead serious. It's a clinical. I think at this point it could become a clinical diagnosis. When they put out the DSM, they're gonna have TDS in there 1,000%. This is gonna be in textbooks. It's going to be some kind of mental illness phenomenon that has swept the nation. And it's going to be an overdrive come 2020. Matter of fact, I think you're going to have one or two things that are going to happen in 2020. Either you're going to have more episodes of TDS or you're going to have less. Either it's going to intensify or it's going to be reduced. Because once they realize that there's going to be no more fighting, he got reelected, they're going to surrender, or they're just going to go into overdrive with the craziness. Or maybe they might come to our side. I think TDS can be cured. And the good thing about when TDS is cured, it's like breaking the mental chain and opening somebody's eyes. Like they were living behind the fog. They can't see anything. They're blinded. And then once they get cured from their illness, they're able to get out of it and then come to our side as a result, because they can't go back to the other side. That's just kind of what that is. All right, we're going to put you on timeout there, boss. Can't be spamming the chat. Thank y'all for joining. I definitely appreciate you. What else we got here? I'm just reading through my topics. Oh, Black Friday. Did you guys get anything for Black Friday? Like I was saying earlier, I got some good suits and stuff, but I didn't get anything else. I was just chilling out. Just enjoying what's going on. Got some suits, got some good deals on that. But I didn't want to get into the fray of trying to box people for a television for like $100 off retail price. I'm just not really trying to do it. I rather would just keep the TV I've had for a long time that has no issues. But one thing I thought about getting a 4K TV, but again, I'm not trying to be in there, slap boxing just to get a television that I don't necessarily even need. I'll just wait until the overall price of the technology goes down so I can get it at the same price that I could right now at a later date, since I don't need it right now anyway. You see what I'm saying? And then sell the one I do have on Craigslist, but sell it at the police station so I don't get robbed selling the item on Craigslist. Let me see. Steve Cut says, ABL, why aren't we hearing the Muslim community's outrage? You're not going to hear that. You're not going to hear that because the main thing is they'll say, this is an isolated incident. And it is isolated, but at the same time, it's not, because this is kind of a pattern that happens a lot. This is just, what goes on. Okay. So now you're not going to hear any outrage from them necessarily. You're going to hear some people that are Muslim come out and say it. Shout out to the Imam of Peace, Imam Tahidi on Twitter. He said something about it. He was talking about how this is crazy. This should have already been stopped. And, and he also criticized Sadiq Khan, London's mayor, because Sadiq Khan said this is an isolated incident. We're not looking at any other suspects. But it's like, is it really isolated? Like I was saying earlier, if you have a knife attack, a terror attack in London on a London bridge on Friday at about 2 p.m. GMT, London time, and then at about, 6:30 p.m. GMT, another attack happens in The Hague, in Netherlands. So, I mean, maybe there's a link there. You might want to investigate that, possibly. But Sadiq Khan's like, nah, it's not connected. But I think maybe it is connected. Let me see. Thomas says, supporting Trump and censoring speech hypocritical, don't you think? I mean, it depends on what you're saying. I mean, I have the right to have rules on my platform like anybody else. Like if I say on my platform, no cursing, you have the right to abide by that or not. And if you don't, I have the right to remove you from the platform. As simple as that. It's not really that difficult. Just because you have the freedom of speech does not mean you have the freedom to make me hear your speech. I can hear it or not hear it. I can deal with it or not deal with it. We all have freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is a two-way street. People say, why are you saying that X, Y, and Z person said something that was wrong? You got freedom of speech. So do I. It's a two-way street. You can't just say they can say whatever they want and I can't say whatever I want as a response to what they're saying. It's a two-way street. All that freedom of speech actually means is that the government can't be getting involved in locking people up. Now, if you have these companies like Twitter, Facebook, etc., censoring your speech based upon political reasons, that's a different story because these companies are so big, they dominate the means of communication. A lot of people don't even talk to anybody else except for social media platforms. Like they dominate the means of communication. So I think a special exception could be made for them, potentially. But that's kind of a court case. That's kind of a legal battle right there. It'd be the equivalent of the government. Well, not the equivalent of the government, because like I said, it's private. But what if the government were to censor you or to remove certain words you say from a telephone conversation? Like if you are on the phone with somebody, you're talking to somebody, and then you're saying certain things that the government are censoring, or if they record your conversation and then they hold you, it gets weird. But I think I'll leave it at that. Everybody has rights. That's all I got to say about that. Let me see. Yeah, everybody has their right to do what they want. You can abide by the rules or not. Rules is a normal thing, a normal part of life. All right. Let me see. Danny Vega says, why don't we network for freedom and earn enough so each we can pull together and hire prosecutors that will charge the corrupt representatives and bureaucrats ourselves? I mean, hey, that might be an idea. I'm not really sure about the legal angle on that, so it might be an idea. I'm not opposed to hearing out some of these ideas to use legal means if that's available. Omar Adams, my man, he says the little prohibited sign, no spam, no cursing, no TDS. Exactly. Simple rules. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you, boss. Armin says, have you read Thomas Sowell's A Conflict of Visions? No, I've not read that, but I'd love to read it. I might have to read that if I get a little bit of time here soon. For sure. What was I getting ready to say? Oh, I think Warren Buffett says he reads 4 hours a day, and I'm sure he's a billionaire, but still reads 4 hours a day. So I might want to adopt his philosophy. I don't read that much as far as a book every day. I just read a lot of articles and news and stuff like that. Like most of the news I get, I try to read much as I can. I got to read it very quickly because I got to put videos out quickly. I don't have a lot of time to do it. So I try to read very quickly as much as I can. Like tonight after the stream, if I get a little bit of time, I'll read what's happening. I'll read up on certain things so I'm more knowledgeable of it. Let me see. Why did you get blocked? Probably because you were spamming the chat. And thank y'all for joining. I definitely appreciate you. Yeah, Thomas Sowell is great. Absolutely. 1,000%. Big fan of his. I love to meet him one day, but Thomas Sowell, they say he's an elusive person. It's hard to get a hold of him, but I love to be able just to sit down and talk to him. If I can get just 5 minutes of his time, it'd be just like gold. It'd be like giving the bar gold to get him in front of me for 5 minutes to talk to him. Let me see. Yeah, you're right. NPC, he says reading is reading. I'm trying to saying that. Yeah. I'm thinking about reading books and stuff, but reading is reading as far as just whatever. You can be reading a newspaper, a book, an article, whatever it is. Yeah. Joe Young says reading is how you educate yourself, which you should do every day to be aware of what's going on in the world. Yeah, correct. You're right. Not even mad about that. Viewing libertarians. Let me see. Libertarians, the people that I know that are libertarian are cool people. As far as just the people themselves, the people that I know that identify as libertarian, they're pretty cool people. But as far as a political party, I don't align with that ideology because I feel like they don't really take a side on a lot of different things that they should take sides on. Some people that are libertarian take it to the extreme of, well, they got weird views on abortion. I don't know. And I feel like it's hard for me to pinpoint what their whole thing is. Is it the non-aggression principle? Is it that? It's hard for me to really just pin them down. So I can't really rock with libertarians politically. But just far as being people, they're good people from the ones that I know. Gary Johnson, that's not a good representative of the Libertarian Party. What is Aleppo? He's a moron at the end of the day, but he's probably a very popular person, which is why he had such attention on him last time. And this is probably why you got the guy Bill Weld trying to primary Trump as a Republican rather than trying to be the Libertarian again. Is there anybody trying to be a Libertarian this time? I don't see anybody that has come out as of yet. And since they've not come out as of yet, they probably won't come out at all. I think they have support in local elections where they're known, where they're well known, just like any independent, like a Bernie Sanders. And my question would be, how are they going to vote once they get into government? Are they going to vote pretty much party line with Republicans, with Democrats? How are they really going to vote? Because some people, they masquerade as a party that's different, but then they vote a way that's the same as everybody else in the party that they're really with, whether it be the left or the right. Yeah, what is Aleppo? That was crazy. My man, Scary Gary, he was a nut. Totally. Ron Paul did get screwed in 2012. Yes, he did get screwed. Ron Paul was the best person that I've seen come out of the libertarian movement. I like Rand Paul too. I like Rand Paul. I'll say that. I like his views on things because he's consistent. A lot of people in politics in general are inconsistent. They kind of change with the wind whenever it's needed for them to change. But Ron Paul and Rand Paul, they're very consistent. And I like how Rand Paul is an ophthalmologist, not an optometrist where they just, take your, give you glasses, but an ophthalmologist, meaning he does eye surgery. I had surgery on this eye before, so it was a crazy thing. I had eye surgery on my eyelid. I had this big chalazion, what they call it. I had a big chalazion on my eyelid. Like this eye was like I had a black eye or something. It was closed like that. So I had surgery on it. So I got a lot of respect for guys like that. He's able to still be an ophthalmologist and a politician, rather than being a career politician like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, etc. It is what it is. Was Gary Johnson the Clinton lackey? I don't know. That's a good question, but I don't know. Maybe you guys know about that in the chat. Was Gary Johnson the slick Willie Bill Clinton lackey? I like John Stossel, yes. I like his show that he has where he breaks down certain things. I don't agree with him all the time, but I like John Stossel. Absolutely, 1,000%. Now, what is Rand Paul doing right now? Is he still in government? Is he in Kentucky? Like, what is he doing right now? I kind of lost track of what he's doing politically. Elijah Jean says, do you believe how Shapiro has attacked Ron Paul on Twitter for years? I don't know about that. I've not seen that. So I can't really comment on it. But, you got little cat fights going on sometimes in politics. That happens. Kamala Harris, her campaign is pretty much over. I'm not sure when she's going to actually concede and say, okay, it's a wrap. I'm done. Because people in her campaign are leaving to go to one of her top people went to go work with what's the guy's name? Bloomberg. It's like Bloomberg, he has no chance of being able to win. It could be a money thing. And then somebody penned a letter talking about the treatment is terrible. Never been treated this way before. Talking about Kamala Harris and her campaign. Now, I don't know if it's Kamala Harris treating her that way or if it's like a go-to person in her campaign, like the campaign director or the chair or the campaign treating them badly. I don't know what it is, but the staffers seem to be disgruntled. She's losing people. She fired a bunch of her staff in New Hampshire, somewhere, Vermont, one of those states up in the Northeast. So she's not doing very well on the campaign trail. And I saw her bring some collard greens from South Carolina to Iowa to eat dinner with her family and a family in Iowa. You couldn't get greens up there close to where you are in Iowa. You had to bring greens in a plastic bag from South Carolina on a flight with you. Kind of weird. And I don't know. It's like she'll cater to whoever will give her the best vote. In 2017, when she got introduced as a senator by one creepy, sleepy Joe, she was introduced as one of the first Indian Americans to join the Senate. Now, she's a black woman cooking collard greens and, X, Y, and Z. It's stupid. The whole campaign is dumb. She has no juice. People are getting fired. They don't like her. She's polling like almost at zero. Bloomberg comes in and does as well as her in the polls out of nowhere. And some of her campaign staff are going to him, although he has zero chance of being able to win. Hillary Clinton may come. Hillary Clinton may just have to storm on in because who's going to actually be able to succeed on the left? Bloomberg is in there just to be able to bypass campaign finance law, so he can put out $1 billion, not literally, but a lot of money, millions of dollars, more than what will be allowed if he were just to be donated to his own campaign, so another campaign. He must have put out a bunch of negative ads against Donald Trump, okay? Because it's his own money. He could spend his own money however he wants as far as being in the campaign rather than giving somebody else. So he's putting out negative Trump campaign ads that way, trying to hit him in that sense. Kamala Harris has no chance. Cory Booker has no chance. This sham relationship between him and Rosario Dawson gave him no kind of juice. Buttigieg is doing okay, but, a gay married couple, young guy, that's not really going to fly too well among just regular everyday people. It is what it is. Nothing against the guy and his guy, but it's just a reality of the situation in America. And who else? Pocahontas, dishonest person, a pathological liar at this point. Who do they have on the left that can succeed at all? Hillary Clinton could come in there and get Weekend at Bernie through the campaign, and she may be able to make some waves, but that won't work either. She may have a good chance of getting a lot of votes, but if you couldn't win in 2016, how are you going to win now with no chance of being able to get any of the votes that Trump got in 2016, and you coming in late? How are you going to be able to win? There's no confidence in you at all. What are you really going to do? Oh, Tulsi has no chance either because the Democrats don't like her. Same thing with Yang Gang, Andrew Yang. Okay, anytime you got people on stage highlighting the fact that she's more Republican and she tried to work with Trump back in the day, tried to get a campaign, a cabinet spot with Trump, all this, that, and the third, no chance. And Andrew Yang is too much of a hippie to the Democrats. So no chance at all. But like I said before, nobody has a chance to beat Trump, so it doesn't even really matter. It does not matter. PN says, I've just seen the REI ads here on YouTube. Some Mother Earth trans drag dude. I've not seen that. Not at all. I've seen some videos on YouTube randomly, just like how-to videos about household stuff or gaming or something. And it'll just be a person I've never seen before. And I got to kind of look. I'll be like, is that an Adam's apple? What's going on here? Is that a man? I'm seeing that a lot nowadays, a lot more than usual. Not like it's common, like I see every video, but I see it, and I'm just kind of like, what is going on here? And anytime there's some kind of like panel discussion politically, especially on the left, like some of these leftist shows, Grapevine, Vice, etc., is always some gigantic trans dude. And my thing is, why they got to be so big? Be more convincing, like a Blair White. If you're going to be a transgender person, why are you looking like Evander Holyfield with a wig on? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, come on. Tighten up. Do better than that. But I digress. Don't nobody get offended. Hey, it's just jokes. You got to be able to take jokes regardless of what. If you a lady with some twinkle and berries, you got to be able to take jokes, man. It is what it is. Yeah, but Kamala Harris has no chance, none at all. But and the thing about it that's kind of irritating me about Kamala Harris is how people on the right kind of like her a little bit. She's a basic Democrat, really. Her only shtick is that she is anti-war, but only to a certain degree is she anti-war because she has come out and spoken against what Trump did, which was to take troops out from northern Syria. So he moved troops to northern Syria, and she was against that. She was like, "Oh well, the Kurds, they're our allies. You betrayed the Kurds." It's like, look, if you're going to be anti-war, you can't be against troops being removed from Syria. You got to be for it. If you're not for it, then I got to ask why. Because the Kurds, I mean, hey, thank you for your help, Kurds, but we're not going to be here forever just being babysitters. You know, you got to be able to do what you got to do to keep on rocking. It's not my responsibility to, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Wait a minute. Okay, I saw something right here. Hold on. Wait 1 minute. Okay. I just came across this article right here. I might do a video about this, maybe I'll do the video. Billy D. Williams, I'm gonna put it on the screen. Star Wars, Billy D. Williams comes out as gender fluid. Really? You a whole 82-year-old man, sir, and now you want to say you're gender fluid? What is really going on here? And what does that mean, gender fluid? So you might put on ladies' clothing? Like, what's happening? Okay, the Star Wars actor recently opened up about his gender fluidity and using both he, him, and she, her pronouns in an interview with Esquire. I say himself and herself because I also see myself as feminine as well as masculine. I'm a very soft person. I'm not afraid to show that side of myself. Let's put a pause right there. You could be a soft person as a male, but why say that you're also a girl at the same time? Just be a soft person. As a dude, just be a soft dude. That's okay to be a soft dude, but why you gotta act like you're a male, like a female when you're not? Let me see. I never tried to be anything except myself, William said. I think of myself as a relatively colorful character who doesn't take himself or herself too seriously. You know what? I think I'm finished with Billy D for real. Come on. Colt 45. What is going on? All right. I think I'm gonna save that maybe for a video or something like that. But Billy D, what are you doing, man? Like, why do I need to know that? Why are you telling me this now at this particular age? I just don't understand. Just be a soft man rather than being he, him. And you know what? The pronoun thing is ridiculous because people are getting locked up over this in some countries, like Canada. If I misgender you, I'm going to get, some time in the penitentiary or at least a fine? It's like, how am I going to know? If you're looking like Rocky Balboa in 1973 and I call you sir, like, sorry for just assuming an obvious thing to be what it is. This is crazy. But hey, that's the world we live in nowadays. Man. Yeah, he's just gay. I mean, you could be gay. Like, what's wrong with just being gay, a gay male? That's okay, man. That's your business, whatever you do. But to say that you're gender fluid, no. Biology still plays here. Biology still says you're a male. Your chromosomes, your twig and berries, all that good stuff says you're a male. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. Hilarious. Shout out to you, Gen X. 100%. Hey, that whole thing can't be true. But matter of fact, hold on. It says it's an interview on Esquire. Yeah, it's on Esquire. I'm looking at it right now, so it's a real thing. It's not a fake article. It's crazy, but hey, I'm not surprised anymore at anything. I'm not surprised anymore at anything. Oh man, alrighty. But on that note, let's get to the calls. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. And thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate it. Please like the video, share the video. And if you're not subscribed yet, please do so. That'll help me out tremendously. And click that bell right beside the subscribe button. There's a little bell right there. Click that bell for me. So whenever I go live, you get notified and you get a little, I think you get an email or something else to get notified when I post a new video or go live. Alrighty. Yes, it's everywhere. It's on Twitter. It's all over the place. So, no, it's a real thing. Yeah, it's crazy though. But hey, it is what it is. Shout out to Billy D. Can I call him Billy still? Like, my thing is, okay, when you are feeling like a female, does your name change? Does your name change or what? Let me see. Thank you to Jay Potts for the donation, who says, hey, I guess you want to say ABL. What happened with you and A's and Lucas? Nothing as far as I know. I mean, Lucas is still cool. Like I said before, it's like my little brother. And sometimes, the big brother will have to whoop the little brother, but it's all good. Ain't no problem. Shout out to Lucas. We just agree on certain things, and that's it. But that's with anybody. You're not gonna always agree 100% on everything. Yeah. So shout out to Lucas. But let me get to the calls here. All right. Let me see if my Skype will act appropriately for me. And shout out to Billy D. Williams. Hopefully he, Zim, Zer is doing well today. Okay. Let me see. All right, cool. That's working properly. Let's get to 702. You on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Rob in Vegas. How you doing tonight?
Everything is great, man. About yourself?
Oh, not bad. Hey, it would be Billy with a IE on the end.
yeah, that'll work. Exactly.
Hey, I got a problem with this Trocky picture.
With the Rocky picture?
Rocky picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Trocky picture. Hey, all Trump is doing is copying some OG stuff. Because the original poster was Ronbo.
It was who?
Ronbo. You don't look. Just type in Ronbo on the computer. RONBO. Ronald Reagan as Rambo. That's the original poster right there.
Oh.
When that one came out.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, I mean he was the original, but it is cool that all those protesters in Hong Kong are loving it.
Oh, they're loving it. Yeah, I'm seeing them out there with the pictures with like they printed out pictures and they're out there with it in the street.
Yep. Yeah, it's amazing. There's more Trump supporters in Hong Kong than Washington.
Exactly. The Hong Kongers are more American than some Americans. And my thing is, hey, can we adopt them? Can we, if you want to get some immigration and get some good people, get some of the Hong Kongers over here. They speak English a little bit. Get them over here. They'd be better American than some Americans we have.
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you, they probably speak better English than most of us because they were an English colony. So they learned English from when they were kids. They're most of them are bilingual.
That's right.
So yeah, hey, I just wanted. Oh, I see the Free Hong Kong showing up in the comments. That's right.
Yes, indeed.
Free Hong Kong. Oh no, the NBA will hate us now. Hey, you have a great night, ABL, and I'll talk to you later.
And thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Definitely appreciate him. Yeah, and shout out to Hong Kong all day long. Yes, free Hong Kong. Yeah, the NBA, hey, they're concerned about getting money. They don't really care about anything else from what I see. All right. 228, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, who is this?
This is ABL.
Oh, hey, ABL. I just wanted to ask you a question. What is fluid gender, fluid neutral, whatever that is?
Okay, I'm going to try to explain it the best way I know because I'm kind of confused myself. So if somebody says they're gender fluid, from time to time, they could feel like either gender. So you can wake up in the morning and feel like a male, but then by the time he gets to eating dinner, he feels female.
I call that psycho. To me, it sounds like fluid gender is somebody with an incontinent problem. You know, an older woman that, you know, as you get older, your body starts to fall apart. That's just fact. And people become incontinent. That's what it sounds like to me. It's sort of, I wouldn't want nobody to call me gender fluid. I said, no, I don't have an incontinent problem. That's what I would tell them. You know, some of this shit, excuse me, I know you don't like that. Some of this stuff they come up with is not only stupid, it's super stupid. I mean, can't they come up with something that makes a little bit more sense? That's all I got to say. And I like your show. I watch it all the time. And I'm not fluid gender, fluid whatever. I am not incontinent. Nobody I know is incontinent.
That's right. I thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Hey, yeah, that could be it right there. People just, you know, think things ain't really going right. Now you want to put some kind of weird label on it. Oh, I'm gender fluid. Maybe you just, you know, not really right in your medulla oblongata. That could be it. And thank y'all for being here. I definitely appreciate you. And what else we got? I'm reading some of the chat. Yeah, I identify as a Camaro. I identify as a Thanksgiving dinner. Somebody was telling me that somebody identified as something. I forget what they like. People identify as all kind of different things, and it's like, all right, you know, I'm not really going to play into your games over here because you're not really making any kind of sense at all. It's like transmission fluid, hilarious. What kind of fluid is it? You know, I really don't know. Thank you, Eddie B, who says, sup ABL. Good to see another brother doing it right. Hey, I'm doing the best I can. I thank you for your recognition, boss. Definitely appreciate you. 100. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. And if you want to get in through Skype, there should be an email for that in the description box. You can be right here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen so I can hear you through audio and see you on video as well. You won't be able to see me on video because my camera's over here on the stream, but you'll be able to hear me and the audience can see you and hear you on video. I identify as a T90 tank. Hilarious. Let me see. Oh, it's all good, Divine. You know, I try to go for a while. I try to go for at least 3 hours usually. It depends upon the call volume and how I'm feeling. I try to go for a while. So if you miss parts of it, you're still able to come in and catch a lot of it and you won't miss too much. I'll be able to give you a nice little bit of content. Let me see. Hold on. Esoteric Nightmare says Billy D is also out here talking about Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher having an affair. He's just old and an attention whore. Okay, yeah, I see. It's like, why are you giving all these secrets? You bought one foot in the grave, man. Just keep that with you until you move to the upper room. Why come out here now and say something like that? You know, that's unnecessary. Shout out to Chandler. I see you in the chat, Chandler. What's going on, boss? Identify Baby Yoda. Let me see. Hey, how about I identify as Bill Gates and I'm going to go into the bank with no ID and get money from Bill Gates' account? How about that? I think I might get the police called on me. I don't think they're going to let that slide, but hey, it is what it is. Shout out to Matt Ben who says Navajos for Trump 2020, 1000%, man. Shout out to the Navajo Nation. Thank you for your donation, boss. Definitely appreciate you. Hey, the energy around Trump is just it's crazy. There's no energy on the other side. These rallies that Trump is having all over the country are just super energetic, and nobody cares about Joe Biden or anybody else. So nobody care. All the energy is going towards Trump. Hunter Biden, you identify as Hunter Biden, let me get out of jail. These political guys, if Hunter Biden was just a regular Joe, he already been locked up. I mean, he's smoking crack. You got kids all over the place. Ain't paying no child support. I mean, it's all kind of things you can get them on. But, you know, when your last name is Biden, you can do whatever you want for the most part. Fortunately or unfortunately, whatever it is, it's just the reality of the situation. Oh, that's a good one right there. Oh, Noel 72 says the UK should have signed over Hong Kong to the US to pay off their Lend-Lease debt from World War II. That's a good one right there. Very good. But see, that would have been the problem with China because China wanted Hong Kong back. They looked at Hong Kong as part of China. So that would have been a problem. But that's a good idea for sure. I mean, and especially since China does not even want South Korea to be there or Japan, but definitely not South Korea. They want to keep North Korea like in this impoverished state and under communism because it's a buffer zone between them and South Korea. If Korea were one unified place and it was more like Japan, then that'd be a problem. You would have a lot of Chinese people trying to go to Korea in general, and it would influence China in a way that they don't want. You see what's happening right now with those re-education camps. You know, you got some Afghanistan and Pakistan influence on the far western regions of China. They don't want that. That's why they're putting people in the camps. So they don't want any of the American influence coming into China. Stuff like personal freedom, they don't want that. China's an interesting place. They have capitalism to a certain degree, but they also have a lot of government control because they're still a communist nation. They see certain things going on that they don't like, they'll put a clamp down on it. Religion and drugs and video games, they'll definitely put a clamp down on it. Some may say it's good, but at the end of the day, when you don't have any kind of personal freedom, it's not really a good thing. Valerie Rogers, thank you for your super chat. She says Hunter Biden is a crackhead. Fact, 1,000%. I mean, if you're getting caught with a crack pipe on multiple occasions, on multiple occasions, at a certain point, you got to be seen as what you are, as a crackhead. You know, I heard this guy was in a strip club smoking crack. I don't know what else to call that, but a crackhead. It is what it is. Oh yeah, that's right. Because the VPNs are a thing. Because China, if you just connect to the internet as normal in China, you're not gonna see a lot of what is happening because the Chinese government blocks that. You know. Let me see. Anonymous YouTube user says you are debating a team of leftists. You can choose 4 people from the list: Mark Dice, Charlie Kirk, Rand Paul, Dan Bongino. Okay. Tucker Carlson, Donald Trump Jr., Nikki Haley, Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, Crowder. I'm going to get back to that one in a minute. Let me answer this call. 614, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 614. Yeah, 614. Who am I speaking to?
ABL.
It's ABL speaking. Who am I speaking to?
Peter in Australia.
All righty. What's going on?
Well, I have never been so energized about American politics.
Okay. So, I mean, why do you say that? Like, what's going on has got you really energized?
Because I've never really taken any notice except for the presidential elections. But what is going on in America at the moment is it's almost like madness. The Democrats have lost it.
Yes. I'm glad you see it from the outside because it's not just us being biased to the right. I mean, the left are just going totally crazy. And the regular people are just starting to leave them because the only sane people are not over there. They've totally gone bonkers. They're talking about climate change is going to end the world in like a year, just stupid stuff. So I'm glad you see it over there in Australia.
Oh, yeah, and that's the whole point. From seeing it from the outside, every single day, it's like what are you, the Democrats, what are they doing? They're shooting themselves in the foot. Nothing they do works.
That's right. And I feel like they're doing this because they've gone so long with going down this road, social justice issues and LGBT this and climate change this, climate change that. They've built a lot of their base on that. So the only way that they see a way forward is to kind of double down and get deeper. But now you have a lot of people from the far left that have taken over the Democratic Party, and they're controlling the whole conversation. They're pushing all these things that the Democratic Party started and moving it all the way to the left. People like Barack Obama came in there, talked about Trayvon Martin. That could have been my son, all this, that, and the third. The far left are now pushing that all the way to the extreme. They get a lot of attention on social media and a lot of pats on the back from internet people that don't necessarily vote all the time. And as a result, the entire party is crashing into a ball of flames, and it's their own fault.
Yeah, well, I think I saw last night, was it a Republican in New Mexico has flipped to the Republican Party, and in New Jersey, a Democrat has become an independent.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because at a certain point, these people on the far left have made that party become unattractive to be in. So I'm not surprised at all that people are starting to flip, going in the opposite direction.
But once again, I come from the outside. I'm on the other side of the world, and I'm just watching the Democrats. It's self-immolation.
Yes,
It is what it is.
That's what it is.
They don't seem to be able to make a decision. When are they going to realise? I've been watching Trump since he got elected. Everything he does, he wins. Everyone who tries to cross him loses.
I mean, I think that they might understand that to a certain extent. That's why they're trying to do all these crazy antics. They know if they go about things in a regular, normal way, then they would not be able to succeed. So they might try this, and that might work in their mind, but they know at the end of the day, they're in pretty much desperation mode, so they don't have many choices. So, hey,
yeah,
I'm glad to see it personally because I want to see that party collapse, and maybe something good will come of it. Maybe a different party will emerge because the party that they have right now, I'm not sure if it's able to be saved.
Yeah, well, don't get me started on Adam Schiff.
Oh yeah, he's crazy. I mean, he gets on the stand and lies about the whistleblower. He says he says he doesn't know him. He doesn't know the identity. But then when certain questions are asked that could possibly talk about a person that may be the whistleblower, he says, "Oh, you can't talk about that." It's like, okay, if you know when to interject and to prevent a question from being answered about a random person, then how can you at the same time say you don't know the whistleblower is? Maybe you're just telling us a lie, which has kind of been a pattern I've noticed a lot from him.
Oh yeah, and the rest of them, Pelosi, Schumer. It's this whole thing about Trump derangement syndrome, how it's now become a real phenomenon.
Oh yeah, it's definitely real. I mean, some people say, "Oh, ABL is not really a real thing. You're making it up." It's like, no, you have psychiatrists that are talking about patients coming into their establishment, sitting on the couch, and complaining about Trump in tears, throwing rage fits. I mean, you've seen episodes of it. People in the street just throwing stuff, hurting themselves and other people because of Donald Trump. Just, and I think a lot of that just goes to the media because they're in bed with the left. And they kind of enrage these people with all this misinformation about Trump. So they go out in the world and they just let everyone around them feel the wrath that they've been building up on the inside that came from the left and the media.
I think it was earlier this year. I saw you have a female comedian there who said she was feeling really down, and she went to see a psychiatrist, and she admitted that the reason she was depressed was because Trump was president.
Yes, that was Chelsea Handler. Yes.
All right.
I mean, that's correct. And then this is a person that has a television show. People know who she is. I mean, these are big personalities that can't even handle a person being the president. It's like, did he come to your house and steal something? Did he kidnap your dog or set your house on fire? What's really going on? I mean, these people just need to kind of just get a grip on reality.
Yeah, look, I'll finish up, ABL. Look, I'm old enough to remember when Reagan got in and everyone lost their mind, when Bush got in and everyone lost their mind. But what I'm seeing with Trump, is just, it's some sort of like mass psychosis.
That's right. I mean, I'm with you 100%.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate it, and I love your content.
All right. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. Now, I'm trying to fix this ringer. You guys can't hear the ring in the background, but for some reason, Windows, it's not giving me the option to turn the ringer. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's fix this. There we go. Okay. Let's get to the next call here.
Very much for your time.
240, you on the line. How much we get to?
Brother?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
Long time no hear, man. It's getting crazy out here, bro, man. And I was reading about. Did you hear about Kamala Harris talking about how it was racism that the black vote was pushing against her, and how how the reason why she went enough votes because black people didn't support her enough, and she said it was more racist amongst themselves. I'm like, huh?
Hold on. Like, wait. So Kamala Harris said that the reason why she does not have
losing is because of racism, and she's saying that the self-hating is black people. That was an article somebody put on Facebook, and I don't know if it's true. And you know the root. It was out of the root, so you know it's probably fake anyway.
Well, that probably was their opinion about why Kamala Harris is losing. But the truth is, I mean, Barack Obama got overwhelming black support. So why is Kamala Harris not getting the same thing? Now, if Michelle Obama were to run, she would get the same kind of support. Black folks love Michelle Obama, so it's nothing to do with racism or self-hatred from black people. Ain't nothing like she's just not a good candidate. And the truth is, she's not even black. I mean, how do you have a mixed black and white father and the full Indian, red dot Indian mother and say you're black? And then in 2017, she was introduced as one of the first Indian American senators. So now, 2 years later, you black. So she's just not a good candidate and a person that kind of flip-flops on her own identity.
Yeah, and that's the thing makes Samara right there. That makes Samara. You just suck as a candidate. No one believes you. You're a crappy lawyer. You're a side chick for life. You know what I'm saying? But people don't want to bring this stuff up. And the thing about it was and another thing is I'm going to topic with the impeachment thing. They're talking about Adam Schiff is basically not giving the Republicans to share their time and share their let's say they say I want to share my time with so and so. He's knocking that down. He's not letting them speak. He's interrupting them all the time. Yeah, that impeachment is going down. You know, all they're doing is helping Trump out, give him all prohibition, all this showtime, and people understand. He's not getting impeached. He'll never get impeached. There's no evidence on him. And everybody's like, what's his name? Rogers is going to jail. I say he's not going to jail. He's gonna get pardoned. He is, because he didn't do nothing wrong. It's trying to make him the fall guy in the news. But in all reality, he's not getting locked up. Would you not agree, ABL?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. He's not going to get. If he gets locked up, he'll get out soon by being pardoned because, like you said, he did nothing wrong. And then I was watching this show on YouTube, The Wolf of Wall Street. Jordan Belfort, he interviewed the FBI agent. And he had been with the FBI for like 27 years. He's retired now, but he'd been there for a long time, over 25 years. And he said that the raid on Roger Stone was way over the top, unnecessary. I mean, they came in like he was a like El Chapo or something with a bunch of guns and drugs and all that kind of stuff. It's just a regular guy you could have got in a D.C. coffee shop and say, hey, come on down to the station voluntarily. It would have been no problem. So, it's just trying to intimidate him and show a force politically. it won't be anything at the end of the day. He's going to get pardoned because he did nothing wrong.
And that's what people don't say. I keep telling everybody, I said, look, what people don't understand about this whole, about Trump is that he hasn't done anything wrong, and his actions don't mean he's a racist. He can't prove he's a racist. You can't prove he's a bigot. You can't prove he's something. So they're just really fishing right now, and people love to hate people. I don't know why it is, but it is what it is. Am I right? Am I right, ABL?
No, you want it.
And then another thing that makes me so mad is that how now I was reading this black newspaper. There's someone where they said now it's not say JD's a sellout because he didn't get Colin Kaepernick in the league, and I'm like, he set him up with the
workout.
Tryout.
Yeah.
What more do you want? He would have had a guaranteed job if he would just showed the hell up. Would you not agree, ABL?
I mean, if he was good enough to get into the league, he had opportunity to show it, but he decided that he didn't want to do that. He wanted to go do his own thing to get attention. Like, I think at this point, everybody knows that Colin Kaepernick does not want to play NFL football. He just wants to sell his merchandise, get attention, maybe do some speaking engagements based on the attention that he's getting, and that's it.
Exactly. And then people don't understand. I'm trying to tell everybody, look, Jay-Z's not a sellout. Jay-Z's a businessman. Say what you want to say. He's a businessman. And now they call him Byron Allen. Byron Allen, the guy who did the lawsuit. They're trying to call him a sellout, call him a coon. He's the token black man. I'm like, look, he ain't no token black man. And then they try to say he has a white wife. So what? So what? Who cares? It's like everybody's fishing to attack each other in the black community. Would you not agree, ABL? It's all we self-hate each other more than anybody else ever will, and then we get mad when some BS cop stuff come up. You know what I'm saying? It's annoying me now. You know what I'm saying? Like we have so much self-fighting in the black community. Would you not agree, ABL?
Yeah, it's a lot of that going on.
And then I also read that they said that Trump. They said projection is Trump's supposed to get at least between 10 to 11% of the black vote. Thanks to you guys.
It's definitely going to rise up. I mean, definitely, it'll be more than last time. I think it got like 8% last time. It'll be more than that because, you got the incumbent. The jobs are doing well. A lot of black folks are openly being able to support Trump now. They don't have to be afraid to go in there and vote for who they want to vote for. There's no good Democrat candidates. So, I mean, all that coming together will definitely make for Trump to get more of the black vote than he did in 2016 for sure.
Yeah, but last issue before I get out of here, quick question. How you like that VR, brother?
Oh, man. Hey, have you played it before?
Yes, I had one. We spoke about it. You said, nah, I kind of messed with my eyes a little bit.
Yeah. I had to go ahead and get it because, the Black Friday sale, they had a good deal. I'm like, let me go ahead and get it. And it's great, man. You couldn't really. It's hard to explain it to somebody that's not played it before. You just got to put it on and see what it's like, and it's legit.
Yes. Like I played the Creed boxing with it. I never knew I had ass before, so I played that game. Six pack.
Yeah, man, but it's good though. I'm playing the golf game right now. That's my thing.
Okay. And I played Doom for it too.
Yeah, but see that one, I don't know if I can play that one because it's moving around a whole lot. I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, I tripped over the coffee table like 4 times. I dented my head up a couple times. It was worth it, though. It was worth it, brother.
That's right.
All right, ABL, man. Have a nice one, bro, man. Keep it safe, man. Trump 2020, bro, man. Hey, man, you will do some big things upcoming, man. You needed some suits for that. And I'm glad you got some suits, man. Keep it fly and gangster. All right, brother. Peace, love, and joy, juice. All right, bye.
All right, peace. All right, thanks, my man JB, for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And I was going to answer a question that got asked earlier. If I can find it, I'll get to it. But I think I might have lost it. Who would I want in a debate with me? Let me see. I forgot what the choices were. Charlie would be good to have in a debate. Ben Shapiro would be good to have in a debate. Brandon Tatum would be good. Charlie, Ben, Brandon, and I'm not sure who else. Who else would I want to have? The guy that does the Dilbert cartoons, I want him because he's just a smart person and he's like a well of knowledge. And he's like a walking library. I want him. But I'm not quite sure who all the choices were from that particular list that I was saying earlier. But thank you to whoever asked that question. And shout out to the super chatters. Who do we have? We got a few. Oh, just Eddie B. Thank you to Eddie who says Democrats only care about black votes during election season and her hands off at any other point. Now they're replacing us with illegal immigrant voters. Now that they feel like they're losing us. Correct. 1,000%. That's the objective of the left. They want to bring in as many illegals as possible from Mexico, Guatemala, Nicaragua, etc., coming across the border, don't speak no English. And the objective is to get them naturalized as citizens, to grant amnesty to them so they'll be able to vote in federal elections. You can vote in local elections if you are not a citizen, if you have, I think, a visa or a green card. I could be wrong, but you cannot vote in a federal election unless you're a citizen. But if you're granted amnesty and citizenship, you're able to vote in the federal election. So what they can do is replace the black vote with the newly minted, amnestized, or if that's the right word, illegal alien. That's their objective, because they'll just discard us and replace us with somebody else. But let me get to the next call here. All right, call you on the line, 617. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Ivan, man. What are you talking about? Illegal aliens getting citizenship, man.
I mean, that's what I said. Like, what did I say that you didn't understand?
They don't get citizenship right away, man. Do you know what is an amnesty system works? Do you know how it works?
Well, eventually the goal is to get illegal aliens to become American citizens. That's the goal, right?
Well, that's up to them. That's not the goal. That's up to the person that get the amnesty, if they qualify for the amnesty, and then they will move to get the green card after 10 years, and then they have to wait another 5 years, and then after 15 years they get the citizenship.
Okay, so I mean, it's
not like they're jumping for amnesty to citizenship. It's not true.
Well, I didn't say anything about the time frame that it would be. I mean, they'll wait 15, 20 years. Like it's not going to be an overnight thing. They're playing a long game, just like any other nation would be, because they see that they're trying to look towards the future, 30, 40, 100 years from now. They're trying to maintain control for a long time. Just like when you vote for Donald Trump to get in office, you're thinking about the Supreme Court, and you got guys like Brett Kavanaugh and others that are going to be on for life. So what, 50 more years is a long time. But you got to think that when we're talking about politics, you can't just think about right now. Think about the future as well.
That's what you should have said. That's not what you said.
But I mean, I didn't.
To me now because I challenged you.
I didn't. No. I didn't say anything about the time frame. You just, sir. You assumed that I was thinking that it would be overnight, but I didn't say that.
I'm listening to you.
So, like, when did I say, sir? When did I say that if amnesty were to be granted, when did I say that it would happen overnight? You
said they will. No, you didn't say overnight, but you said they will grant it. The one that give them citizenship. A lot of people don't understand the way the immigration.
I mean, but you just said the same thing I said, sir. You said that.
But you have to explain to them. They don't understand.
I mean, look, it doesn't, like, the time frame. That's a different. If you want to ask me about how long it's going to take, I can answer the question. But I'm not going. I ain't going to just say, oh, don't somebody mean tomorrow is going to be 20 years. I mean, just ask me the question and then I'll tell you.
But that's not what more people understand. You say things like that.
That's how.
As an influencer,
sir,
people might think that they're gonna get the citizenship as soon as they get the thing, and it's not like that. It's a long process, and most people won't qualify for this amnesty. That will be the reality.
That's how you think.
People will still. No, everybody will qualify. Do you think somebody that came yesterday they're gonna give them citizenship? No. There's a bunch of rules that happened in 1982.
Lord have mercy. I didn't say that it would be overnight. That's how you thought it was, but that's okay. Now you asked me the question, and now you understand more. So, that's why we're here. That's why we're here to understand each other.
I know that the goal for Democrats is to have to secure more people that have citizenship to be in order to vote for them. That the Republicans have the same chance. They could do the same thing. Trump had the opportunity to do that when the Democrats giving the amnesty for, let's word in the bill for amnesty for those in DACA. Democrats and Republicans agreed, and then the president agreed the day before, and the day after, I guess at night was Sean Hannity, and Sean Hannity told him not to do it because he will lose his base. And the next day he said no.
I mean, that's your opinion. Why he
that's
not
not my opinion. That's a fact.
I mean,
so why you will change your mind? Why you will change your mind from Wednesday to Thursday? Let me give you an example.
But hold on, wait. You said it's a fact. You don't know that it's a fact. That's just your opinion. Because
So
do you have
why
like?
he will change his mind? Why he will change his mind?
I don't know. You don't either. So you gotta leave it right there. You can, sir. You can,
Hannity,
sir. I'm gonna talk. You can assume a thing. You can say, oh, because you can say that he was going to do DACA or whatever, and then Hannity came out and said, don't do it, and then Trump said, I'm not going to do it. That's your opinion, but you don't have that as an actual fact. You don't have Trump on tape or on a written statement saying that he did want DACA and then he didn't do it because of Sean Hannity. That's just your opinion, but go ahead.
There's a lot of consistency to let to believe that that's that.
Okay, that's your opinion. That's fine. That's fine to have an opinion. That's fine, but go ahead.
Okay, so there's a lesser opinion to believe that is that. Well, for example, he said he was going to pass he going to have more gun control laws, right? He said we're going to have more, no gun control law. What is new gun control when we're going to register the guns? Then the day after, he changed his mind. So I guess probably he spoke to one of the guy from the lobbies from the people that have from the gun thing, and then they decided to change his mind. He changed his mind constantly.
What law was that you're talking about?
The new regulations for gun control.
What law specifically? What are you talking about?
I can't remember now for the.
Oh, okay, sure.
I just don't remember right now.
I mean, okay, all right, I understand.
I just don't remember right now, but
I mean, what's wrong? What's wrong with listening to people around you and the American people and then changing your mind? Just like the whole thing with the vaping situation. You had a plan, sir. Wait. I'm gonna say the question. Just like the whole thing with the vaping situation. He was like, okay, let's ban all the flavored vape stuff for the tobacco flavor because people that want to be able to, stop smoking, the adults, because he want to try to protect children. Then it was a big uproar from the American people. They said, well, wait a minute, we don't want you to do that because a lot of us smoke the flavored ones that are adults to quit smoking. So now it's a back and forth. It's like you put something out there, you see how people respond. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? And then if he decides, okay, this might not be the best idea, let's go back and change it. What's wrong with having a receptive president to the needs of the American people?
The president should not be changing his mind constantly in base of what
the question was, what's wrong with having a president that is listening to the American people and is receptive to
you should listen to the American people, but you should not change. You should not change your mind, and when you make a decision, in base of your base.
So
because
you say
your base should run the country, not you.
So
you the one to make the decision in base of what will be the best thing for America.
So
you
on one end,
best decision, what is the best thing for your base?
On one end, you say that he should listen to the American people, but on the other end, you say you shouldn't be changing his mind.
For example, if it's some like Bernie Sanders is saying about how do you call it, national health care, in the way that he say we should listen to American people in compare what we got now. If you believe that we have now is better to nationalize health care, then we should have a debate. That's why they say, well, we could have town hall meetings, we should do things like that. But if this president, every time there's a decision to make a decision, he changes his mind because his base don't like it, then why we having him in the White House?
So is that like every time he makes a decision, he changes his mind? Are you sure about that?
I mean, a lot of times he changes his mind. A lot of times. I mean, this is nothing new.
So
he changes his mind. He changes his mind.
You may see him change his mind on occasion. And because you're so hyper focused on sir, I'm gonna finish my point. Okay. You may see him change his mind on occasion, since you're so focused on Donald Trump and hyper focused on his faults, it kind of blows it up in your mind to be like a constant thing.
Not true.
But maybe it's not a constant thing, and you can't necessarily point to a number of times he's changed his mind to say that it's a constant thing. That's just your opinion based upon you're focusing on Donald Trump and his faults. But go ahead.
No, because he changed his mind. He changed his mind constantly.
Okay.
When the thing happened in Las Vegas, that the madman came and shoot all the people in Las Vegas in the concert, he said, We're going to have more gun control laws. What did he say? We should take the gun first and then do due process. He didn't say that?
Well, I don't remember anything about that.
Oh, you don't remember. He said it. You know he said it. Let's take the guns first and then have due process. I don't like to be,
and then what happened?
Too long. He said the law takes too long.
And then what happened?
He changed his mind. Then he he didn't do it.
Okay, so it didn't happen. Okay.
Then this didn't happen again.
And then why didn't it happen? And why didn't it happen?
Look, if we were to have somebody with
why didn't it happen?
Because the lobbies.
Because the lobbyists, that's your opinion?
And he didn't do it.
Okay,
Let me give you another example.
Hold on. You don't have that much time. So your opinion is that he said something about gun control and then he pulled it back because of lobbyists? Like, it couldn't have just been him talking to his staff members, or the American people that are close to him, friends, family. It couldn't have been that. It's got to be the gun lobbyists. That had to have been the only reason why he changed his mind on that?
And the lobbies. That's all what it is.
So listening to your base is a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, but I'm not
okay,
so I
mean, why are you complaining about it? If you make a decision as a president and your lobby, not your lobby, that's your opinion. Your base comes out and says, hey, that might not be a good thing, and you go back and reconsider. That's not really, like, if you're a leader, you can't just be saying, okay, I'm just going to be a king, do whatever I want, and the needs of people that actually voted for me, my constituents, should just say, forget about it. That's how politicians operate all throughout the country. A lot of times they just do whatever they want, and they don't care about what their constituents actually want. But on that note, I got to get to some more calls. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right. Shout out to my man Ivan for the call. I most certainly appreciate him. And shout out to you guys for being here. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff for me. I'd appreciate it 1,000%. And let's get to the next call. 443, you know, line. Who am I speaking to?
Wayne Dupree.
Wayne Dupree, my man. What's going on?
What's up, doctor? What's going on?
Everything is good, man. I'm glad to hear from you, man. We got a superstar on the line. Thank you for calling, man.
No, look. I had to cut. I saw all these. I was looking on my friend Naomi's Twitter timeline. She retweeted Anthony, and then when it came over, I'm looking at the party that's going on. I was like, okay, all right, you got a little something going on over here.
Yeah, man, just a little something, man. So I'm trying to get like y'all, man. That's all.
Hey, man, keep on doing it. Keep your head up. Stay humble, and look, do it yourself. There we go. Do it yourself. Don't ask a whole lot of people for a whole lot, because they will come back on you. It's really better when you do it yourself. Believe me. Well, I mean, like right now, I got a website right now, 5 million page views a month now, and none of the big websites retweet me or share my stuff.
Wow, so, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, because I've been thinking about doing the website. You know, one of my sponsors.
You got to.
Yeah, I have, like, and I can do it myself. Like, before I started doing this whole thing over here, I was actually a graphic designer and a web developer, so I can make the site myself, and it's no problem.
No, you know what? Because here's the thing: so many people put everything into the social media programs like Twitter or Facebook and whatnot. But see, when those platforms take you down, what do you have? So a lot of people have been putting money into. I spent $300,000. You know, I mean, I've heard some stories about people putting all this money in there. But if you put into your website, then they can't stop you from putting out your word every day. And, you know, like what? At the beginning of the year, you know, I had about maybe 500,000 a month. Now I'm up to 5 million page views a month. And it's continuously going up. The traffic's good. And that's where you get your message out. They can't stop you. They can't stop you when you have your own website. But yeah, look, man, you really really got it moving, man. You really got it moving on. I appreciate what you're doing because I guess we're the old heads now. We're the old heads. I heard the question about who would you like to join your debate. I have to go back to Sonny Johnson and Alfonso Rachel and Kira Davis and Stacey Washington. I have to go to the old heads, man. But that's just me. That's the generation that I popped in on. But no, you really have a good platform here. I just want you, as a word of advice, I just want you to move it to. You already. It's just a word of advice because sooner or later you're going to have to sustain a whole lot of stuff. And my YouTube channel has been taken down 3 times. I don't even promote YouTube anymore.
Oh, wow.
I don't even promote it anymore. Somebody was making fun of my shares on YouTube. I had close to 100,000 the first time, and then Jon Stewart and CBS came through, and YouTube yanked it down. Wow. And then the second time I did it, because a whole lot of people remember me from doing my videos from my car. Mm-hmm. So the second time I did it, I had about maybe 40 or 50,000 subscribers, and CNN came in. They got mad because I was sharing a video of a Russian who was making fun of me. No, you don't do CNN. Fake news, fake news. And I got like 3 million views on that, and they took it down within 2 hours of the time that I went to sleep.
Wow.
So I don't even promote YouTube anymore, man. I just try to get people to go to the website, and then they can read my opinion or watch my videos on there. It's a hub, it's a hub. But you have some beautiful people in your chat. You have some great ideas, and all I can say, man, is just keep your head up. Keep your head up and stay humble, and everything's gonna come your way, man. Everything.
Well, thank you for that, man. That means a lot to me. I'm gonna just keep on, like you said, keep on doing my thing, keep on being humble, and everything will come to me. And definitely, I think you're correct about that. But I got to ask you one thing, since I got you right here. You got this really big website. What is your main driver to the website? Is it Facebook, Twitter? Like, how are you driving traffic mainly? If I can ask you that on air.
You know what's funny? See, you're gonna make me give you a secret.
Hey, if you gonna keep it to yourself, it's all right, man. But I had to ask. I just take my shot,
Well, okay. For about a year and a half, because so many people say Facebook is the big thing, but it's not for me anyway. Because they've been restricting me for the last 2.5 years, since 2017. So Twitter was my number one brand of traffic for until I would say maybe June or July of this year, and then it began to be direct. And what I do, I go out to a lot of irrigators, a lot of I don't know. Oh man. You know what Drudge looks like? Well, there are a whole lot of conservative ones out there too. And you talk to the people behind the scenes. Hey, listen, I got a website right here. I'll put your banner. I'll put your block of information links on my page, and then you put my stories on your irrigator site. So every time you do a story, Wattfinger is a great one. The Liberty Daily is another one. These are irrigators that people go to, and it's just like Drudge, but it's for smaller ones. And people go to those every day, and they click on those, and they drive traffic to your website. And it's solid traffic because they keep on coming back. when they see that you have great content, when they see you have a great product, such as your videos, such as your questions about. I mean, it's great to start off a day or every other day with a question from your website in a video, so that people can come in and stay on your website for about 2 or 3 minutes, answering the question in a chat or in the comment section. What you need to do from there is you need to start not loading your pages up with a whole lot of ads, but you need to get a couple of good ads or sponsors, and then that's how you also make your money. That way, then you can sustain your family, because Anthony, I haven't been public I haven't been public about it, but there have been many times that I've wondered where my food was coming from.
Wow.
And I didn't go begging or go fund me and this and that, but my followers have taken care of me when I needed to be taken care of. But now I've gotten to a point that, hey, guess what? I can get a laptop for both of my girls. I got twin girls. They're 16. I can get a laptop for them now. I can take care of them a little bit more better, because, you start building up that loyalty and that trust, exactly what you're doing here on video. Wayne Dupree, WayneDupree.com. You just check it out. And if you want to give me a link, or if you want to give me a banner or whatnot, I'll put your banner on my website, and then you put my banner or a block of information on your website, and that builds that traffic back and forth.
Definitely. Absolutely. And that's a lot of great information, man, and I appreciate you for that. I'm going to get the website started. I'm going to reach right out to you, get you my banner. We can make that happen for sure.
Oh, yeah. And believe me, that's what I really want a whole lot of y'all to start doing, is start, because sooner or later, believe me, sooner or later, they're going to or they're going to shut down, or they're going to suppress you a whole lot more that people won't be able to see. And the only way that you can fix that is you got to do it your way, Anthony, ABL. You got to do it your way and have people go to your website. That, again, people can't stop you there. You can do whatever you want to on your website, okay? I mean, and you can build a great community there. You can build a great community. And then you don't have to rely on anybody. You don't have to rely on any organization. You don't have to rely on anything. I mean, I'm going to tweet you something. No, I'm going to DM you something.
Okay.
Because I can't say it here, but I'm going to DM you something. And your eyes are going to bulge out for stuff that I have gotten over the last, it'll be the last 3 months. So it's going to make you push for a website a little bit quicker, a little bit sooner.
Right. Okay.
And whatever help that you need, I will help. I mean, and I like to get you on my show a few times and let you do your thing over there too, so that you can get seen a little bit more also. But no, I again, I appreciate everything you do, ladies and gentlemen. ABL. No, there's a whole lot of crazy people out there right now. There's a whole lot of people that I watch a whole lot of people. I watch a lot. I don't say anything, but I watch a lot.
Right.
There are some people out there that are shady, and then there's some people out there that are built to educate and inform. And that's what ABL is built to do. You don't see them fussing and cussing and starting stuff online, and that's what I don't do. Don't waste your time in arguing and all that crap and stuff. You have a job to do, and that's educate and inform. And Anthony, that's basically what you're doing. You're educating and informing, and that's why the people love you, and that's why the people are following you, and that's why the people respect you. Now, when Anthony gets his website, y'all have to start going over to the website, and when you go over there, you visit, you bookmark, and you share. That's how you deal with ABL's website. Visit, bookmark, and share. that's how you can help him continue to grow and get his message out. The same way people have been doing it for me, you can do it for him too. But you got something moving with this. Now you just got to expand, man. You got to expand and get your feet down.
It definitely will do, man. Well, thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate it. Tell everybody how to get to all your social, your website, everything, so they'll know where to go to get in contact with you.
Oh, man, it's real easy. WayneDupree.com. Again, we 5 million page views a month, about maybe 1.5 million to 2 million unique visits every month, and Wayne Dupree Show across the board. Wayne Dupree Show. So, but I'm gonna talk to Anthony behind the scenes, and I'm gonna try to get him. Around my show a few times so that he can take over for me, and then I can take a vacation. He can roll with the show.
Definitely.
But no, man, I love you, and you do your thing and keep your head up. And I don't respond to a whole lot of people, but you got it moving, man. You really got it moving. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you for sure.
Okay.
All right, now.
Be good now.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Shout out to Wayne Dupree. Hey, I've been looking up to Wayne Dupree for a long time. Like, really before I started doing this, I was looking a lot of his stuff that he had going on. Yeah, I've been a big fan of his for a minute. So shout out to him. That's a big star calling into the show. So y'all go ahead and support Wayne Dupree. Go to his website, his Twitter, all that good stuff. All right. Let me get to my next call here.
Right.
713, you know the line. Who am I speaking to?
You gotta move.
All right, I got some background noise here.
I got it turned off, man. It's George in Texas.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Man, I was checking out your show. Just heard the other guy here a couple minutes ago. Two guys, right? The one guy that's telling you about getting your website. He's definitely right. I got a little IT background, so he definitely told you the truth. But you know that. I heard you talk about it. But
yeah.
Listen, man, I kind of wanted to comment. Excuse me. Hold on a minute. I just got through having a little dinner, a little leftover Thanksgiving. Hey, listen, man, I kind of wanted to comment on the whole, the immigration blast. I'm here in Texas, right? And, here in Texas, especially, in some of the major metropolitan cities, man, the people who have crossed the border, they're not giving a damn about the laws that you guys or the legal people have written. Have you been by Home Depot lately?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not scared. I tell you what, how about this? I give you one better, dude. How about if you go to some of the local gas stations, right? I mean, I'm going to blow your mind with some of the stuff I'm going to say to you because of my background, if you allow me to say it to you. You know what I mean?
Go for it, man.
Okay. One is, I'm ex-United States Air Force. And I've seen it from the military side. And I work in an engineering environment. I've worked for about 30 years in engineering. I think I told you that before, right? So I don't know if you're familiar with Imran Awan, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, IT person. I don't know if you heard that story, right?
I did hear about that. Wasn't he like doing some illegal stuff? I forgot the full story, but wasn't there something going on that was illegal with him?
Well, basically what he's doing is he's blackmailing all of the Senate because they're running around with these phones, Blackberries. He's doing the programming, and they basically got this whole whatever they're doing. It's kind of incredible, so I try not to repeat it too much, about the whole pedophilia thing. I try not to repeat it too much because it's like a hard pill to swallow. And then I think maybe they just think if they get a whole lot of people going on that, they're going to call us all crazy. You know what I mean?
Right.
But listen, the whole Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Imran Awan thing relates to the Indian people from India now has basically started getting a foothold in the United States. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I've seen that, like especially like in the IT world.
In the IT world, but let me tell you where it's really relevant at, especially here in Texas, the DOT. I just came from there. I worked there for over almost a year, rather.
Now, what is that, DOT?
And the Department of Transportation.
Oh, okay.
Right? See, at the Department of Transportation around the country, they make the rules. Anything they want to, just think about it. Where are you going to get your driver's license from?
Yeah.
When you get your driver's license, what's they going to allow you to do?
A lot of different things. You got your ID, the ability to drive, get on the airplane.
And what else?
Everything.
And what else? What else? What's the main thing you can do? Vote. Exactly. So at the DOT, they really doing it big where, you know, they have this program, especially here in Texas, called Connect. And what is Connect? Connect is everything. They use this program, this engineering program, and everything that they put up is smart. Smart signs, smart roads, smart everything. You know, even smart car. What do you mean smart car? Your car has some type of digital footprint that they can track or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like here in the area I live in, there's this big wealth transfer that's going on. You know how it's being done?
How's that?
Have you been to a gas station and noticed there's a Western Union in it, in your neighborhood, in the hood, in the hood, kind of, in your neighborhood?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, see, they Western Union wiring money there. Somebody is allowing them to do it from America to Mexico or wherever they're from. I never see any Asian people or any African people in that line wiring money. Do you?
I don't see them, but they do that though. Like I know, like back in Virginia, a lot of the African hair braiders, they send money back home all day long through Western Union, but I don't really see that a lot.
Right. Oh, and here where I'm at, in the area I'm at, man, they're building like crazy. And they're building some crazy houses where there's zero backyard, where the houses share the same patio as the back of the house. So your house have the same patio, maybe like a 4x8 patio, but two houses share that patio. That's not the American dream house, would you say?
Yeah, it's a little different.
It's a lot different. Even the small houses got their own back area. You know what I'm saying? I just saw some small houses online. They got their own back area, you know? Mm-hmm. So I'm telling you, man, these people already, they're like done, dude. They don't, just coming from the DOT and, me working there I worked there as engineering, IT CAD support, meaning I supported the 4,000 engineering CAD users across the state using different programs that the state used to, do engineering projects. And it's not the same. It's not the same. And when you see who they have let win the contract for this major program, you would be blown away. But I'm also finding, how I really want to look and say, oh, is this going on? But then I think about it. I think about cats like yourself now, right? American cats got more to do now, and be able to survive. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's definitely a whole lot more. But hey, I don't mean to cut you right here, but I got a lot of calls on the line. I'm trying to get to a few more.
Okay, man.
All right, now. Thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. No problem.
All right, now.
Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And thank you all for being here. I appreciate you guys as well. You guys on the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. All righty. Let's get to my next call here. Nippin, what's happening?
Oh, not much. How are you doing?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah, I can't believe it happened again.
Yeah, the attack in London. Now, I got to ask you a question because what is the atmosphere like in London? Are people kind of on edge? Is anybody scared? Or is it like what Sadiq Khan said? It's like part and parcel living in the big city. It's not really a big deal.
Of course it's a big deal. Of course it's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but how are people feeling in London? Like, do you think that, like, are you watching the local news there? Like, what's the atmosphere like?
Yeah, one was identified, and I think the other one was killed by the police. So, yeah, it was shut, the whole London Bridge area was shut up for, like, for most of the day.
Right.
And, yeah.
Now, okay. Now, do you think that that whole situation could have been avoided if gun control was not a big thing in UK?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if I ever run for political office, I don't know. I actually don't know. But if I do, I am definitely going to bring this whole gun control thing up.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem because I saw one time they said that New York City had a lower murder rate than London, which is crazy because, like I said, the gun control is really heavy in UK, but not so much in the United States.
And given the fact that you have a mayor in New York City that actually believes in gun control, but that doesn't stop the citizens from owning guns. They still have the Second Amendment.
Second Amendment, that's still there. But yet and still, London had a higher murder rate with no guns. So obviously it's not working. You got knives, you got people driving their cars, with the intention of killing people, all kind of stuff. That's still a problem with people just having a lot of issues with their ideology. Now, the guy already been locked up for terrorism, and then he got released early. Is that common too?
Not really. It's not to my knowledge anyway.
Right.
But what I find intolerable is that Brexit, we voted to leave.
Yeah.
It's still why is it? It's not meant to be a debatable issue anymore.
No, I hear you.
So apparently, Boris Johnson is currently leading the polls right now, which is, thank God, a good thing, because we're having this problem with Boris. Imagine if the opposition becomes prime minister. It will be 3 times worse.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
And, before we joined look, it's not even gun control. It's the fact that we're in the EU. It's the fact that there's so many people free to come in whenever they like. If we simply have more control over our borders, leave the EU, then we probably wouldn't even need to have this Second Amendment thing.
Right.
Yeah. So it's simply to do with the EU. There's too many people coming in as much as they like.
Now, with the EU, isn't it true that you have to admit a certain number of so-called migrants, like a certain specific number, or you had to be more open to people that come from different parts of Europe? Is that part of being in the EU?
I don't think so. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. But you, look, I have no other way to say it. The EU is a dictatorship. Angela Merkel is not mein Führer.
Right. I hear you.
Look, just because you don't hate Jews, just because you don't hate people who are not German, or doesn't mean you're not a dictator. It doesn't mean you're not a dictator. A dictator is someone who imposes law by force. You don't have to hate a certain race to be a dictator.
Right.
And yeah, that's basically what the EU is. They don't hate anyone. I mean, they don't hate any people or race, but that doesn't mean you're not a dictator, if you know what I mean.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
And their concentration camps is basically shutting off from the internet. That's the Auschwitz. That's the Gestapo.
That's interesting to see it like that, yeah.
Us being shut off, they're basically the gas chambers.
Wow. That's a pretty strong comment, but I hear you.
So yeah, it doesn't have to be physical killings, physical people going into concentration camps or gulags.
Right.
They just do it through cyber control.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I actually don't know what to think anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hopefully, you can get. Do you think that Boris Johnson would be a good prime minister, like consistently?
I hope so. I mean, if he delivers Brexit, he'll have another 5 years guaranteed in office.
That's right. That's right. Now, what you don't want is Jeremy Corbyn, right?
No, absolutely not.
Right. I hear you.
I will protest every day outside Parliament if I have to.
I hear you.
And then let's talk about, Trump trolls the media. What of it?
Now, did you see what happened? He went to Afghanistan over Thanksgiving holiday. They thought he went to his golf course, but he sent a fake motorcade down there. And then they were talking about, how does Trump spend his Thanksgiving? Oh, he's golfing and tweeting. Meanwhile, he went to Afghanistan to, visit the troops and feed them Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah. That's trolling to the nth degree.
And then you saw that picture with him on Rocky's body, like the Photoshop. It was Rocky in the movie, so like back in the 70s, 80s, and then he put his own head on top, and then
I think I saw.
Yeah, I think you saw that, and then the media were like, "Oh, this picture has been doctored. It's not real." It's like, "Oh, you don't say. A meme. It's a Photoshop. I mean, come on."
Oh, come on. Even I know Photoshop. I'm taking a course on it myself.
Right.
Yeah. I can tell what's Photoshop and what isn't. But yeah. And now there's Black Friday madness.
Yeah. Have you been watching what's going on with Black Friday and the shopping and stuff?
It always happens every year. Like, people are pushing each other and sometimes stampedes are happening.
That's right. I mean, it happens like that. People just trying to save $100 and ready to throw their whole life away. It's kind of crazy.
So yeah, in the UK, like just in America first, Britain first over here. I know I'll be done for hate speech, but yeah.
Hey,
I don't care. I don't care if I'm done for hate speech.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with supporting your country that you live in, that you're a citizen of. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all. That's perfectly fine.
So, yeah.
Well, I got a few more calls on the line, so I'm going to get to those, but it's always good catching up with you, Nippy.
So, yeah, I am back to work next Thursday, so I won't be on Wednesday. I won't be on your Wednesday show.
Gotcha.
So I shall see you next week. Next week Friday. So, yeah, next week Saturday. Oh, my God, it's so...
Yeah, Saturday. I'll see you next Saturday.
Yeah, I'll see you next Saturday. Saturday your time, Sunday my time.
That's right.
Peace.
All right, good call from my man Nippin as always. Most certainly appreciate him. And thank y'all for being here. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. Let me get to the next call here. Alrighty, let's go. Hold on. Alrighty, Matt, what's happening?
Hey, ABL, how you doing?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
First, did you hear that Biden was smoking crack cocaine in a jiggle room?
I heard about that. They said that they caught him in the strip joint smoking crack. It's like, come on, man, what are you doing? This is like how did you become this trashy when you grew up with privilege? Like, what's really going on?
Yeah, there's people that think that Pelosi's like kind of playing 3D chess, wanting Biden out of the way, and sort of let Adam Schiff's investigation shoot itself in the foot, maybe even Nadler's. I don't know if she's that smart, but I think Biden's pretty much done. You made the point a while back that these candidates are beating themselves.
Yes, correct.
Like Trump's not even really taking them on. I was really surprised.
I mean, at this point, he doesn't need to because they're doing all the work themselves. Now, once it comes to the nominee, once they get past primary time, it's going to be game on, guns blazing, shotgun blast, straight to the dome piece.
Yeah. And, man, there's sort of like an overarching theme to like all your callers that kind of came in today, like whether it's the Hispanic dude that was taking you to the woods for you not saying exactly how long it takes them to abuse the system.
Right.
A lot of these guys, to wiring money over or whatever, but I don't think we're a nation anymore. I can't remember who said it. I think it was Newt Gingrich or somebody that was saying that America is kind of losing its exceptionalism.
Okay, I see.
And there's a lot to that too. I think the United States became a nation during the Civil War, and World War I was all the entangling alliances was about people, all these city states becoming nation states, and the entangling alliances was basically who's going to be on what side of what border and where's the line going to be drawn. That's at the end of the day, nation. The idea of a nation is a very young thing. It hasn't been around a long time.
Right.
And when you let people trespass on borders, willy-nilly, they're trespassing against your nation, and they're coming here with ideas like again that gentleman that was on that you had to sir a bunch of times. He had zero respect for our laws or systems or what makes America exceptional, which is we don't have a drug cartel running our country.
Right.
And whether it's Britain in the EU, I think there is a quota on what they have to accept for refugees and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think Poland was fighting against that. It might have been Poland or Hungary, somewhere in Eastern Europe, and then it was a problem. Like it might be a court case because they don't want to accept these refugees into their country. But the EU's like, no, you have to. You're part of the EU. That's part of the thing you got to do.
Yeah, and maybe the French deserve it because they're number 3 in terms of military intervention and weapon sales abroad and all that stuff. So like they're sort of, the Atlantic Ocean is a tremendous border wall, and Ellis Island was a tremendous detention center, and we sort of have the benefit of that, whereas some of the European countries don't. Because we'd be a member of the EU if it weren't for the Atlantic Ocean, right?
Yeah.
So there's also another court case, like just in terms of us not being a nation. It's called the Town of Castle Rock v. Gonzalez, Supreme Court. The police don't have the duty to protect and serve. And the whole idea of a sovereignty is that you have the monopoly on the use of force, but that monopoly comes at the price that you have to actually protect the people that you tax. That's the way tax collectors were knights, and that's where their power came from. But in terms of the police not having the duty to protect and serve, FEMA not having the duty to respond to natural disasters, people coming across the border willy-nilly whenever they want, and us losing just our identity, and I'm not talking like a white identity or anything like that, because the people of color are part of our identity and they're Americans just like anybody else. But when you got people booing the first lady at a grade school,
yeah, it's crazy.
I think there's one term left to this country, and you know, I don't know how it ends. Maybe in a dollar crisis, like what Rand Paul talks about, or you know, some sort of terrorist attack or incel activity. I got no idea, but I don't have any faith in the Constitution's ability to protect the country anymore.
Now, do you think that a lot of these people just kind of might be the vocal minority? Like, this might not necessarily be a widespread thing. Maybe people probably came there for that purpose to boo Melania. That comes to a lot of these kind of events to try and protest. Because I think what's happening is that like your regular everyday people aren't as into politics as what we may be.
The regular everyday people lived in the villages outside of the concentration camps like Auschwitz. You know, I think the regular everyday people, like a minority of people engaged in the Revolutionary War. You know, like the vocal minority are the ones, the activists are the ones that you really got to worry about.
So those are the ones that are going to be out there really fighting and trying to cause some change in the country and making the country be something different. But the average person just sits at home, they watch Netflix, and not even really worried about the country crumbling around them.
And I'm right there with them. Yeah, I got, you know, I'm 40, almost, I'll be 40 next year. I'm like, you know what, I got a business going on. I'm halfway dead. I got kids I want to get raised up and out of the house, but I'm looking for a way to coast. And I think that, you know, there's a lot of, you know, I'm not young anymore. You know, I'm not an activist like I used to be. There's a bench out front of my business that is on my property that a lot of people sit on. I printed out, I made a placard on it where it says this bench is dedicated to Donald Trump. And I live in Seattle.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna put it out there, but then I'm just sort of like, you know what I mean? Like why? You know what I mean? Like why even I mean, trolling is one thing. I mean, like why do I and I'm an activist. So I think the vocal minority is going to run rampshot over everybody that just sort of wants to live their own life.
Well, we're going to see, you know, because with the vocal minority that are out there trying to protest and act a fool, there's also people that you don't see. A lot of these militia guys, I know some of these guys that are ready to roll. So if something is to go down in the way that they don't want, people are going to be prepared to fight against that you may not see, that I don't see, but they're there for 100% certain.
Yeah, some Ruby Ridge kind of guys.
Oh, I'm telling you, like these guys, they dead serious. Like I seen some of this stuff they got, and it's no game. They're ready.
Yeah, I gotta admit, have you followed this whole Lavoy Finicum scandal?
Yeah.
I mean, that guy was really tremendous, and I'm saying this as like, I mean, he's somebody that the CIA and the police in Oregon assassinated. But there's little pockets of people like that.
They're ready. Like
you don't want to mess with them.
Like they're not on social media. They're not on camera talking, but they're out there.
They're out there, yeah. And you know, I mean, how do you hook up with those people but still have a business or whatever? It's doomsday stuff. It's branch division.
Yeah.
But hey, I'll let you get your callers and keep up the good show. I think the overarching theme of all your calls is this still a nation? Yeah. They're building Melania Trump.
Right. Good question, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, be good.
Thanks to my man Matt for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. But yeah, these guys are militia guys. The guys that's trained and ready to rock. They're out there. It's a lot of them. You don't see them. They're like just in the shadows. But when it's time to rock, they're going to front and center, ready to roll, guaranteed. Had a call, but I think I missed it. And shout out to everybody that is calling the show. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me see. Sock says since 1972, blacks vote Democrat at 89%. Hispanics at 72%. This is not changing. Immigrants vote Democrat at 80%. Well, at one point, blacks voted the same as whites, like 50-50 Democrat Republican, like before 1960. So if it was that way, and it changed, why can't it change again? If it changed once, why can't it change twice? I don't understand the logic. But let me get to my next call. 813 on the line. Who am I speaking to? 813.
Phil.
813, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, turn your speakers on in the background for me, please.
Oh, sorry. How you doing?
All right, hello. How are you?
Good.
All right. So what's on your mind? Why are you calling the show? What's happening?
I just want to know. I love you.
That was random. Okay, he hung up. Yeah. Hey, when you call on the show, tighten up. That's all I gotta say. But for real, like anytime somebody call the show, just have your phone next to your ear, because if you're trying to watch the stream and talk to me that way, it's not going to work out well because there is a delay. And also, if I can hear me, then the audience can hear me too. So I can hear the delay of the show, then the audience can hear it as well. It's not a good experience. So turn your speakers down and talk to me on the phone that way. And that's pretty much all I got. But let me get to the next call. 818, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Quentin calling from California.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Not much. Got unlucky. I got a hold of you. I'm actually on the clock working right now. I'm working in a security car or whatever. First, I just want to say I love your show. I will watch it a lot. Watch a couple of your YouTube videos, and I just want to say that thank you for spreading the word out about what's going on and everything, giving your opinions. I align with the same opinions and beliefs. First of all, I'm also black as well, and since 2016 I've supported Donald Trump. Honestly, because a lot of the things that he's done, in the past, he's done a lot of good things, and it's I've never seen any type of president through my 36 years go through what Trump has gone through. It's like when will it ever end? He's doing so many good things for this country. Lowest unemployment for everybody, including blacks, Hispanics, Asians, and whoever. And the economy's doing well, and he's got prison reform, yet people still call him a racist. Like, I really don't get that. And plus, he also donated, put in a bunch of millions of dollars to historically black colleges. But yet the media, they keep bashing them, putting them down, and it's like, it was one of the main things that opened my eyes to basically what's going on in this country. It's all out of control. It's like, when will it ever end?
Yeah, I mean, you got the left. They pretty much out here putting forth what they want realities to be, to try and intimidate people, to try and have the country go the way that they want it to go, down a crazy direction.
Right.
And they're not going to stop, because that's pretty much their whole strategy. They can't win fair and square in an election, so they're going to just do other things.
Right. And just seeing all that, it's like, it's one of the main things that opened my eyes to, what's going on with this country, just what's going on in the government and everything. And then, I would say I practically got a red pill somewhat, like during when Bush was president, the second George Bush, obviously. Well, around when a couple years after 9/11 happened, when he went to war in Iraq or whatever. And from all that, just from there, like, I literally at some point, I stopped listening to politics or whatever. It was up until, I want to say, maybe 2012 to 2014, and I really started noticing a couple things here and there. When Obama was president, he never, in my opinion, I don't think he's done so much for anything for, not only for the country but also for the black community. I mean, you're the first black president, and yet you're still leaving your people behind. And then what was going on with, the Trayvon Martin thing, and especially what ticked me off the most was the Ferguson incident.
Yeah.
And then, the Ferguson effect is like, I'm a big law enforcement supporter. I'm a big Leo supporter. Grew up in Baltimore, Maryland. I used to be in the neighborhoods, cops all around sometimes, but my dad always instilled me, like, you always respect the police. Even sometimes, if they mess up or whatever, it's just that one specific cop. It's not reflective on the whole entire department or police officers everywhere. And just when Ferguson happened, it's like, really, like, you take the side of such and such or this person or whatever that, try to, beat up or murder this cop or whatever, but you don't wait till the facts come out. It's like, not only with, that, but it's just the left and, the media in general, that it's like they jump to the conclusion that they set forth, but when you do the actual investigation, it's like, well, wait a minute, this is something different. And, stuff like that, it made me pay attention a lot more to, what's going on in the world, because there's a side of the story that the media puts out or whoever puts out, but then there may be another side of a story that people aren't knowing or aren't listening to. And usually with those types of stories, it's like, wow, this most likely is the truth than what they've been putting out. So I'm like, how am I to trust you? How am I to believe what comes out of your mouth?
Right.
And when Trump started to run or whatever, it's like he literally put everyone who does that type of stuff on blast. It's like people slowly were starting to wake up, and as soon as he got into office, that's when I think people were starting to literally waking up and see what's going on around. And then what kind of shocks me too is even when the truth is put out there, there's people that still don't believe it. It's like orange man bad, and all that.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm a black Trump supporter, and I intend to vote for him again in 2020. Just hope I can try to get my family on board. I'm still trying to get them to come over to the
Yeah, that might be a challenge right there, because you're one way and you're trying to convince other people. Yeah, it's hard to do that sometimes. But hey, if they can see, I think the main thing that might help is if they can just see what's happening with the country as far as the jobs and the money and just the country doing better than it was under Obama. Right. Maybe that might give him a little bit of encouragement to go on and come to the other side. But sometimes people are just not going, or they're not going to be convinced all the time.
Exactly. So yeah, definitely, that's basically my take on it. If I were to, honestly, tell people out there, whoever that's listening, that's kind of on the fence, research, do your due diligence to see the other side of the story. One story may not be true. If you're listening to, whatever one story that's being given to you, question it. There's nothing wrong with questioning it.
Right.
And if it may be true, it is true. And if not, then okay, yeah. Then why am I hearing this false accusation? Why am I hearing this false lie? Why am I hearing this false story? My hope is, people one day will wake up and realize that, Trump was the best president, since Ronald Reagan was in office per se. I ain't including all the other presidents that came, before Trump, but Trump he's doing his thing, man. You know, regardless of what people are saying about him, what people are trying to throw at him, you know, he's still getting the job done. You know, you may be talking about impeachment or whatever, but still, I'm signing bills helping the American people.
That's right.
You know,
that's right.
And that's honestly, that's all that matters. You know, as long as you there for the job, hey, by all means, definitely.
I'm with you, man. Well, I thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, now take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Hey, we out here. You know, I'm seeing more and more black folks that are supporting the president, that are voting conservative, that are voting Republican. And we're going back to like before 1960 when we had much more voter parity, much more Republican Party identification, understanding what it means to be conservative. We're getting back to that. And I think a thing that can really get us back on that direction is if we end the welfare state, because that's something that has damaged the entire country, not just black, but everybody, white, Hispanic, everybody. It's invited people to our country that really shouldn't be here to live off of welfare. It's made people lazy. It's ruined the family structure. It's really just a bane of our existence, the welfare state. If we can get rid of that, I think we would definitely be on the right track to go ahead and get something more positive done. But let me get to the next call here. 479, you're now. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Yes, who am I speaking to?
My name is David.
All righty, David. What's happening?
What's up?
Everything's good, man. What's on your mind?
Well, I'd just like to say that I love your show, and, you know, you're the type of person that brings media to people that, you know, don't watch the mainstream stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And that's good, because it's getting to the point where, of course, no one trusts the media, right?
Correct.
Right? And people will watch shows like yours, you know, YouTube, mainly YouTube. I think a lot of people are getting on BitChute, you know, because, of course, YouTube is starting to censor people like you, and I wouldn't doubt if that happens, you know, to a person like you. But I just want to keep this short and simple. Keep it up. Keep out the word, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you for the kind words in your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Right. And, you know, just keep it up. And, right, everybody knows what is the truth.
That's
I
right.
mean, if you're a true, you're right. If you're a true person, true to yourself, true to your life, and you see what's going on, right, we know what's up. So keep it up, and I'll let it go with that. Thank you very much. Have a good day or a good night, whatever. Later, dude.
All right, now, thank you for the call.
All right, man.
Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate it. Let me get to my next call here. 318, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL. Hey, how's it going, man?
Everything's great.
Good to hear from you. Hey, listen, I think a couple of days ago I called in and I told you about that other whistleblower, not the whistleblower we think of in these impeachment deals, the whistleblower to Millie. Remember I said she got somebody that came about the Kentucky election, said some information from some whistleblower.
Yeah.
Didn't want to come forward.
Yeah.
Well, she made a video, and I think she was really afraid of who to give the information. She made a summary, but in summation, it has a lot of the people in the chat probably know about the black box voting video and all that. Basically, there's a company that makes the voting machines, and they're basically saying that this is kind of a dry run for maybe the presidency or whatever. But I know down here in Louisiana, a lot of people thought that we weren't going to get the same Democratic governor. Of course, we got him again. But we're Louisiana. Nobody really cares. I don't think our population's big enough or we have enough influence or something. But anyway, so the company who owns the machines, you have to watch the video. It's like a recent video, and it says something about are they going to steal the election in 2020? And she's wearing her like red dress, and it's just her head. But basically, the company that owns those machines has something to do with the company that Biden's son, that when he was doing the bribery thing about whatever he wanted to have the the person fired, the prosecutor or whatever. It had something to do with them, and they own that. And I think that on the previous video, the first video, he points out that George Soros is the main owner over all the companies, because he's the hand behind a lot of it, of course. But anyway, she brought the stuff to the governor, and it's fascinating. But the most revealing part is that this might be a dry run. They may try to do this, and they've got some information. There were some video sections where they were showing how at the very last minute, because I didn't watch it with the Kentucky election, that the numbers just switched, like the difference, like the Republican was winning, and it just flipped, and it was the exact same amount, and it was very peculiar. And they show like date stamps and time stamps in it, and kind of see there what was going on. But that's something to look for. And they were saying that basically in 2016 they just underestimated Trump's support, and when they try to fake the election and fix it, they don't want it to be, massive. It's kind of like when kids would cheat on tests. They don't, like, if they're normally like D students, they don't want to make a A+ on a test. Maybe they make a B+, you know what I mean, instead. They don't want it to stick out. So they curved the results for Hillary, but they did curve them on her. They just didn't curve it enough because they wouldn't want to do too extreme, because then it would stand out and there would be an investigation. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, what say you, man?
I mean, I'm not really sure. I got to get down to like what's happening and see the video, so I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know if you heard some other stuff, because I'm sure this stuff is circulating. But yeah, definitely, you want to check that out. And I wanted to make people aware, and also tell you Happy Thanksgiving, man. Happy holidays.
Oh, likewise. Same to you, man.
Yeah. I'll talk to you again. I know you got some other callers. I want to keep watching. So y'all have a good evening. Thanks.
All right. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. The number to call is 434-658-1220. 803. You on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Henry.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Not much, man. I just got a question for you. You were talking earlier about how the Democratic culture needs to stop using the. I'm sorry, I got to meet you. I'm delayed. I'm sorry, I'm still listening to your stream. How the culture, the Democratic culture, is always using these handouts, government, everything, and all that.
Yeah.
And like I do taxes and stuff like that. So like, and a lot of my clients are all, I mean, to be honest, are all single black mothers that want that, that tax rebate check. Like, what's the best bet that we can do to, get people to stop, getting off of the government tit, I guess, to say, and do their own thing and not just always rely on that stuff. Not necessarily saying health or welfare or anything like that, but like, stop always just relying on, that tax check and just having kids just so you can get that tax check. Because, I mean, like I said, I do taxes, so I see it happen all the time. And it's just like, have the baby and you just get the money. Like, how do we re-educate our youth and more specifically, that sector of people to not just rely on that?
Take it away. Take it away. Take it away. It's simple. Like, before, because since it's there, people take advantage of it. If it's not there, they can't take advantage of it. That's the only way you're going to be able to fix that. Because if it's there, people are going to take that option. It's like, okay, I can get paid for having kids. I'm going to do that. If you can't, then they can't. There's no other way to get people to stop being dependent upon it. It's very simple. So just take it away. Maybe you just kind of wean it off slowly but surely. Maybe have it to limit to like one tax credit. You could have 1,000 kids. You could just have one tax credit, something like that.
Yeah.
But the only thing you're going to be able to do to solve it would be to remove it. I've said it before. I've been saying it for years. Eliminate the welfare state, because the welfare state being there is the problem. If it was not there, then it could not be abused the way it is right now.
Yeah, man, I understand what you're saying exactly. Just because, even with the new tax laws that came in place last year, with doubling the standard deduction, so it made it harder for people to well, it didn't necessarily make it harder. So if you were going to itemize, like with Schedule A, to itemize individually, like you had to have way more things other than like $28,000 outside of the standard deduction. I mean, granted, we got rid of personal exemptions, but my business, it hurt a lot. But in terms of the taxpayer, it helped a ton. And a lot of people are saying, and this is one thing that was like, oh yeah, well, I got a smaller tax return. And a lot of people don't understand. It's like, yeah, but you got more money throughout the year.
And you paid less taxes. So, of course you're going to get, but see, people, again, that's that mentality. People just depending upon that check. They're not even realizing how much money they're getting on a weekly or bi-weekly, monthly basis. They're not realizing they're actually getting more. So they're just spending that extra money, not even realizing that they're getting more.
Yeah, I understand exactly. I mean, I'm just saying. My curiosity was, my main question was just like, how do we get the, just the, honestly, single mothers. I'm a single father, so and I do enjoy the tax check, but I claim 0 on my taxes, even though I've got myself as a dependent and my son as a dependent, but I still claim 0, and I get taxed out the butt, but I get my money back. Just because I put it in the system, because I understand, roads, police, all that good stuff. But like, how do you tell other people, like people that just don't understand how it works, like, just shut up, just stop demanding money from me or from anything like that? Because I throw in all of my money, literally every single opportunity I do. But how do you tell people that?
The only thing you can do is just remove the option. You can't just tell people or specific people to not utilize it. If it's there to utilize, people are going to do it. If it's not there, then they can't do it. That's the only solution. There's no other way to do it, because you're talking about money and free money. If you're going to tell somebody, okay, this thing is here, you can take advantage of it or not, and it's free money, they're going to take it 99 times out of 100. If not 100 times out of 100. Even people that have money will take their free money if they could. That's just a thing.
I understand that.
So the only solution would be to not have the option for anybody, period.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is, like, there are people, like, because I've been out there clients that need it, and it really does help them. Like,
well, how do you differentiate between how do you differentiate between those that need it and those that are just that don't necessarily need it if they're both eligible to get it? And how would you make it to where one person will be eligible and the other person wouldn't? Like, how would you determine who needs it and who doesn't? Would it be on a case-by-case basis? You're going to put red tape in the game? How would you fix that situation?
Yeah, I understand that completely. But what I'm saying is, like, I've got a client that they adopt special needs kids out of foster care, and they rely on that.
Well,
but they're doing it for good.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but it's like, okay, now you got some people that are adopting these kids and getting that money and doing a bad job raising these kids. I've seen situations like that. You got these kids living in squalor. So it's like, you can't really, you can't have it, because what you may have to end up doing is have the program, but then micromanage it. It's going to cost a lot of money to put caseworkers on a tax rebate. I think it's just a little bit too much. Just get rid of the program.
Yeah, more bureaucracy.
Right.
But I mean, I understand what you're saying, but like, I think the idea of just cutting it straight out is I don't necessarily agree with it. But just because I'm just thinking of my one specific client.
Yeah.
That literally they adopt special needs kids, out of foster care. Like, that's what they do, but they need that tax benefit. But if
because
the tax reform now is it still helps them. Like, I got them $10,000 last year, but
check it out though, because like I said, if you're going to look at that and say, okay, they deserve it, but a single mother doesn't, what's going to happen is you're going to have caseworkers, because what if you have a single mother that was married at one point and the husband died and she has 5 kids to raise? You see what I'm saying? Versus somebody that was just out there just having kids with different dads and whatnot. I've seen that situation happen where mom is out there, she was married, before they had kids. They had 3 kids. Everything was good. The dad passes away, tragic car accident, and then the mother was never a working person, was a housewife or whatever. She has minimal skills. She has to go out there and get a menial job. She got 5 kids to raise. They hungry, and she relies on that tax return. The same as a person that adopts children from foster care relies on it to be able to take care of them. So you can't necessarily differentiate between the two of them because one is a single mother and one is a foster parent that helps disadvantaged children. The only way you're going to be able to have a solution there is to A, in their program so no one can abuse it, or B, have case workers to determine who would get the money based upon certain criteria, and that's going to be more red tape and expense.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you think is the best solution? I mean, just end it, and then
if you want to solve the problem, just end it.
Just end it.
Yeah, if you want to solve it. I mean, personally, what I would say is just get rid of all the other things that people rely on, like your WIC, EBT, TANF, food stamps, all these things. Just become more strict on that. If you are on some of these welfare programs where you just get these benefits outside of tax returns, people should be drug tested and things like that. There should be more stringent requirements on that. So it'd be kind of a harder, bridge to jump over versus a tax benefit, which is not dependent upon, your situation at home. So that's how I would do it.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is like, all right, if you want this if you want us to help you, you got to meet us halfway and be like, yeah, pass a drug test. Don't be an asshole, right?
Yeah, like on welfare programs. That's
sorry for cursing.
I understand. But yeah, that should be what it is. Now, some would say, it doesn't really work. People don't really come up dirty, but that's the whole point, is to prevent people from. And also, if you're on some of these welfare programs like food stamps, where you're just giving free food, you need to be working and/or doing some volunteer work. I think that'd be a good thing. They did that in Maine with Paul LePage when he was the governor, and it worked out pretty well. It reduced the government teat by like half. So things like that would be good.
Okay. I was just curious. I mean, anyway, dude, I'm a long-time fan, first-time caller. So I literally just happened to see you online, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna call up ABL. So to keep it going, man, I'm gonna put a bow on top and let you wrap it all up.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, no problem, man. You have a good one, dude.
All right, same to you.
Later.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. And somebody said it only works if you got jobs in the area. I understand that, but you can also volunteer. Like, I think what Paul LePage did was he said, okay, you got to work like 2 hours a week or something like that, or you can volunteer a certain amount of hours in a month, like 10 hours. Like, it wasn't a whole lot, just enough. So you can't just abuse the program and do nothing if you're able-bodied. Now, if you're disabled, obviously that's a different story. And, if you can't work because of a disability, that's different. You can get that because we're going to take care of you if you have a legitimate disability. If you can't walk or you got some kind of other thing going on with you, that's different. But if you're able-bodied and sitting at home eating bonbons, watching Netflix and smoking weed, doing your hair, stuff like that, you can go up and go volunteer for 2 hours in the week. That's fine. And if you don't want to do that, then get it how you live. Don't rely upon the government. How about that? But let me get to the next call. 508, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Kelly from Oklahoma. How are you doing?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I listened to a lady today, and I don't know if I should say names or whatever, but her story was one of when she was raised in that situation of being on welfare. And she told her story, and she talked about, she said, there's 3 rules. She said, to stay on welfare, the rules are you don't work, you don't save, and you don't get married.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
And she said she watched this cycle, and she goes, when you don't work and you don't save and you don't get married, you don't have a lot of good life choices. And so she gave her story, and it was just really powerful how she realized that there was no other way than to raise her kids this way. So her decision was that she wanted to do something different. And she now works with women, bringing them out of this, this way of life that's just perpetual. It just perpetuates the next generation to do the same thing.
Right.
And I'm telling you what, she had a powerful, story. But I've thought about it all day, and then this was the topic tonight. So it was just amazing.
Yeah, see, I like hearing stories like that because people they encourage others to do right in life and not just stay kind of in this slump, because what she said is right. You're not married, you're not moving forward, you're just kind of just existing, not even really living. That's not a real way to live. So that's a great message that she was able to give out there, and hopefully people were able to pick up on it and really do something with that for sure.
Yeah, she was very, very promising, and she works actually in Washington, and she works with an organization that she founded that their whole job is to work with women who do not want that to be a way of life, because her message was, you might have the quote unquote things you want, but there's no purpose and there's no direction in your life, because you have to go by the rules. And the rules are, if you want that money, you don't work, you don't save, and you don't get married.
That's right.
I thought that was so powerful.
Very much so. Absolutely.
And I want to say happy Thanksgiving, Anthony, Brian, Logan. You're my favorite.
Well, I thank you for that. And same to you. Hopefully you enjoyed your holiday.
Yes. Happy holidays.
All right, now, same to you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, shout out to the caller. Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you guys have been able to get some good eats, and you didn't get a black eye trying to be out there on Black Friday getting yourself a Hisense 4K TV for $200 from Walmart. Hopefully everybody's safe. But let me get to my last call. 828, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi there, ABL. This is Janie from North Carolina. How are you?
I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I listen all the time. And a lot of times I try to call and I can't get through, but I'm glad I got through tonight. And I wrote down what I was going to say, but I wanted to comment on, your other callers, the guy that just, before me, about the welfare, the Pelosi's and the Shift and the Newsom, and these people are not going to, they're not going to do away with it as long as they're in office, or even let America, because, they're trying to get all these illegals in here and they want to give them everything for free. So, I think that they have to cut it out too. I do have a problem when I work and made good money and I pay in $4,600 in taxes and I still owe $1,500. But my neighbor over here, he got $8,000 back and he didn't strike a lick, and I'm thinking, how can that be fair? I mean, I'll argue and I think that's this, but he's not the only one. There are a lot of these deadbeat people around here that get these big income tax checks, and it just makes you just so mad to think, you know what? I paid my fair share in, but if I go over there and I try to get any kind of help, I made too much money. So the whole system's unfair, but as long as they keep these Democrats in office, it's not going to get better because they won't let it get better. But I'll try to get back to what I had originally wrote down to talk about. And the other guy before that was saying that everybody knows the truth. No, they don't. People don't know the truth. I'm one of 10 children, and I'm the only one that is a Republican in this family. We just had Thanksgiving, and you try not to talk about politics. And they'll say they brought up about Trump's getting ready to get impeached. I said it'll never happen. There's too much going on behind the scenes, and you're going to find out that the people that you've trusted for all these years, number one, have taxed you to death, took the money and put it in their pockets. I think that's why the Republicans or the Democrats hate the Republicans, because they have cut out their little slush funds where they, they've been getting money from this and this and this. And we know that it's true. There's no way that Mad Maxine can be worth $20 million as just a loudmouth congressperson. But then I heard you were talking earlier about the transgender people and how every day we hear about how somebody gets offended. Well, I get offended when I go to Walmart every time I go, but I still go. I get offended when I see these boys' underwear sticking up over their pants, and their pants, I don't even see how they walk. They look like they're going to fall off. Or these fat women who think that just because they make leggings in their size, they should buy them. When you have to see those cellulite, and I'm a good sized woman myself, but you won't see me wearing them. But just because they make them in your size, ladies, don't mean you need to buy them. But that offends me. A lot when I see kids cussing at their grandmas or their mamas, that offends me. But nobody's going to stand up for me and everybody else who gets offended. So the transgender people out there, if you go out in an outfit and you look like Rocky Balboa and you put on a dress and some pantyhose and some high heels, that if I've got to address you, I don't know, I might bust out laughing, number one. But I can't bring myself to call you sir or ma'am. You are what God made you. You're a man or a woman. Now, if you don't want people to offend you, then you need to leave your outfits at home. My daughter is a lesbian, and she's married to a fine woman. But you would never know that because they, my daughter, they both look like really pretty females. And I think that letting these transgender people play sports against our girls should be against the law.
Yeah.
I coached ball for 5 years. And I noticed that on the little football team that was practicing too, over on the, but anyway, the ones that were overweight, they had to wear a different jersey.
Right.
I'm not sure, that. So to let men play sports with women, and it don't matter if you're out there in your dress or whatever you put on, you're still a man. You're a wimpy man that couldn't make it on the men team. I think that they need to start their own league. It'd be hilarious. But, to crown a transgender queen, of a senior, the senior class, it's just wrong. I don't judge people. I don't judge my daughter. She told me that she was gay when she was like 13, and I said, sweetie, that's something you have to deal with, and if you don't want people to stare at you, don't be kissing on your girlfriend out in public because it looks weird. Okay, I said, and that's all I'm going to say about that. So, they can all be mad at me if they want to, but if I see you, don't be offended because you've already offended me by dressing up.
That's right.
The next thing was how the Democrats are just getting crazier every day. I don't know what's wrong with them. But I really think that they're going to throw the Bidens under the bus. The Democrats are. I really believe that. I believe that they think that if they throw them under the bus, maybe all the rest of the Ukraine scandal will go away, but it won't because it goes very, very deep, all the way to the State Department and the Obama administration. So I think their time's coming. And hopefully the American people have got enough sense to know that you got to vote them out of there. Because if you don't get these crooks out of office, we're never going to have a decent government that people are going to trust. For the Trump haters, you just got hate in your heart. That's how I look at it. Because, it's like my brother. My brother was saying, well, I watch the news. Well, I told him, stop watching news. It's fake. It's all fake. He said, you think it's fake. I said, no, it is fake. So when it all comes out, and it will, And these television stations are going to have to start putting it on because that's all that'll be talked about. So at some point, the news media has got to flip a little bit and tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I hope that Pelosi and Schiff and Schumer, Hillary's going to go down too. I think when she goes down, they're all going to go down. And I think they're trying their best to protect all this. But it's going to, you know, it's not just that, well, mostly Democrats, but I do believe that, you know, there'll be Republicans that are going to lose their seat in Congress because they're crooked too. And they've been doing it for so many years that they think it's okay. And because Trump says no, you know, they really can cut taxes if people stop stealing the money.
Right.
But I appreciate you, and I told my brother, I said, I just wish you would look up ABL. If I got to put in on YouTube and bring him up and just listen, go on his website and listen to some of his videos. I said, because you're getting fake news. And as long as you watch ABC, NBC, and these other channels, you're going to be misinformed. You know, I tell my children all the time, you know, and they'll say, oh, they're going to get him, Mama. They're going to get him. I said, no, they're not. And now they just do it to aggravate me because they know that I'm a Trump supporter.
Right.
And, you know, I think when time comes for them to vote, I know even my sister in here, they will vote because I think that everybody should know that there's something really scandalous going on, and it's not the president who gives his salary away.
That's right. 100%.
You know?
100%. Well,
So,
I gotta go ahead and wrap it on up here because I gotta go ahead and.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So I appreciate your time, and I really do appreciate you and all your listeners. And real quick, Glenn Beck's going to be doing a special next week on Ukrainian. He already done one that was just excellent. If you haven't seen it, people, go watch Glenn Beck because he will take it from the very beginning. But then this is the second special he's going to do. So everybody have a good night, and ABL do appreciate you too. So good night.
Thank you for the call. Definitely
Bye.
appreciate you. All right now.
Bye.
All right. Well, that will be a wrap. I got to go ahead and close it on up, wrap it on up, put a nice bow on the top. Thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you as always. I'll be back live with a live show on Wednesday and Saturdays, of course, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time. Call-in show from 9 to 11, and then me talking usually from about 8 to 9. That's pretty much how it's going to be and pretty much how I do it. Thank y'all for being here yet again for another great live show. Y'all the best audience in the world on YouTube, anywhere you can name. Thank y'all. Shout out to the moderators for doing a great job. You got Ansel, Sushi, Liza Jean, Michelle A., Bill from the Hills, Shreebs, everybody. Thank y'all for being here. I see Cynthia Webb in the chat. Thank y'all for joining and helping me out, getting the trolls and whatnot up out of the building. And shout out to the last super chatters, with an S. Thank you to Joseph, who says, what do you think about Kimmel talking about black voices? Oh, I got something today. Hold on. About this here. What I think about Kimmel talking about black voices for Trump. He's just a hater because he is part of the establishment trying to keep the black vote with the Democratic Party. He doesn't want to see us go anywhere else because he knows that they rely upon us. That's why they want to push illegal immigration to eventually, Ivan, get amnesty so then they'll be able to vote so they can replace us in future elections. That's the long game they're trying to play. So blacks for Trump, black voices for Trump all day long. Get your hat right now on Donald Trump's, I think it's DonaldJTrump.com where you get the other stuff at. This would be right on there. My head is really big, so it don't really fit me, but it's going to look nice back there with my other stuff, with my red MAGA hat, with my YouTube award and whatnot. It'll look good right back there, you know? So that's what I got going on. That's what I think about that. And thank you for your donation. Shout out to Matthew, who says our Brexit is to end birthright citizenship. That's a deep topic right there because that didn't mean that American citizens, that didn't mean that if you're born to two American citizens in America, you don't have automatic citizenship. I don't know about that one. I think we got to end it to where you can be born here to two illegal aliens and then get automatic citizenship for sure, 1,000%. We got to end this birth tourism with these Chinese and Russian and whatever, Hispanic people to come over here. I saw one thing where a lady was coming from Guatemala on one of those convoys. At first, it was just her, right? She was on the thing by herself. She was pregnant. She literally hopped the border, gave birth right there in the hospital on the border or on the ground or whatever. All of a sudden, she has a husband and another baby that's like 4 years old. Another child that's like 4 years old. So you had one person that became a family of four just like that. We got to stop that kind of stuff right there because people are abusing our systems. All right. But that's all I got for tonight. Thank y'all for joining. Definitely appreciate you. I do have a bookcase for sure. And I got a bookcase over there with a lot of books in it. I might just shift that over here. I might do that. I don't know. I might kind of redesign this background. This is kind of just something I just threw up haphazardly. So I may get this tightened up a little bit because I got quite a few books. I got a book today, matter of fact. Somebody sent me a book in the mail. I get quite a few books from you guys. And shout out to all you guys. Do check your books out. I've not read all of them, but I've skimmed through quite a few. And I got quite a few books of my own that I don't even have stocked up right here. Matter of fact, I need another bookcase to fill my books in and put that behind me. Or do one of those things where it's like the cubes all behind so I could put all my little doodads and whatnot from events I've gone to and my books and everything else, my political stuff and other flags. But that'll be it. Thank you for joining me. Definitely appreciate you. I will see y'all again on Wednesday with the live show, and I'll be doing my regular videos all throughout the week. And if you're not subscribed to me, please do so right now and click that bell for me. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.